What's going on, everybody? We are back with
back at it.
the Poundin' / Marvel Media podcast.
What is up, people?
This is episode 4, which is based off of episode 4 of Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yep.
Which was called The Whole World Is Watching.
Oh, let me tell
We've actually got an exciting show. Now, before we get into this, let's remind everyone there will be spoilers.
Major spoilers. A lot of spoilers, man.
There will be
Cursing. From this guy. I'm just kidding.
Mostly from me.
I'll try to keep
Ralph drops an F-bomb every now and again.
I might drop one here because, hello, this episode was lit.
And one of the things we like to do, we always like to start off our podcast with a concept question. So this week's concept question is, what Marvel movie have you seen the most?
You want to go first?
I'll go first.
Yeah.
Mine's impressive. Yours is shit. The Marvel movie I have seen the most is Spider-Man 2.
Okay.
With Tobey Maguire.
Okay.
I have probably seen it close to 70, 80 times.
Well, no, that every time is not for me. Probably about 10.
I used to go to bed watching it.
Okay.
In my opinion, to this day, it's probably my third favorite Marvel movie. Definitely in the top 5 for all-around superhero movies.
It's a good movie.
I think it's number 5 in all-around superhero movies. But everything about that movie just, I feel, panned out perfectly, from the beginning struggles, relationship-wise with Mary Jane, but then ending up with her at the very end.
And Doc Ock's character.
The guy that played Doc Ock
the one that's going to be in this Spider-Man coming up.
Spot on. You
Alfred
could not have
Morehead.
asked for another person to play it any better. It was just an all-round, in my opinion, perfect Marvel movie.
Yeah.
This was before Sony decided to start fucking up everything.
Right. Before we came with Amazing Spider-Man, the Sinister Six, and...
Well, here's the thing. See, I liked Amazing Spider-Man, too. I just didn't like it as much as the second original Spider-Man movie.
Did you like Spider-Man 3?
No. As a matter of fact, I feel like Topher Grace, the guy that played Venom, was a terrible choice to play Venom. Ironically enough, I actually thought at the time they would have been better off using Brock Lesnar, which was rumored, because he was really big in the WWE at the time.
He's actually
he's the
big,
big,
he's the big bulky dude. Like he could have.
And I feel like he would have fit it. And I actually think Topher Grace would have made an excellent Carnage.
Yeah.
Because he has that look to him that almost feels like it could fit that Cletus Cassidy mold.
The straight up killer look,
But yeah, so Spider-Man 2 is my favorite. Well, it's the one I've watched the most.
Mm-hmm.
So.
He's waiting for me. All right.
Your turn, Ralphus.
Mine is that I watched. It's not my best one. For you guys all jump on me. It ain't my best one. Hold on.
Let him lie to you.
Oh dear. It is Fantastic Four, the one that came out, or Fan-4-Stick as they call it, Fan-4-Stick as they call it. I think it was like 2016 or 17 or whatever. I watched that a couple times. I was working at Amazon, and it was just background music. It was like background noise, so I fell asleep. That's not helping it. I fell asleep to it. There's no good qualities in it. There's nothing good about it. I just watched it a couple times. There's no... He's looking at the camera. He's like, "What is wrong with you? Why are you watching this?" He's like, "I'm not." You want to chime in on? Do you know? He's like, "Hell no, I don't."
One day we're gonna have to watch it, and I will give you every reason why I think that movie is shit. Until that day, we'll leave it there.
But that's why I watched. That's the only movie I watched over and over. At least I watched it maybe about 15 times, and I know somebody watched like halfway. Like, I'm out. I watched it the whole time. So I can actually give you every step, scene.
No, we're good.
He's like, we're good, but that's my lesson over and over again.
All right, so with that, we're going to jump into last week's Marvel news. Now, we actually have quite a bit more news than we did last week. And I am super excited for this news. So, I will start it off. First, the new Loki trailer came out Monday.
Cold. Very
Last
cold.
Monday.
Last Monday, yep.
And revealed a little more of the story. So people are a little better understanding of what's actually going on.
Right.
And it looks like Loki will both be helping the Time Variance Authority as well as fighting against them.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah.
At least from the scenes that I seen, there were times where he was fighting against the time people, but then there's times where he's like helping them. Now there were some people that said they feel like they saw Black Widow in the trailer.
Really? I mean, I guess, yeah.
Which, given where they're at, it looks like it could be.
It's like where they were like that sitting part scene, and they saw the hair. I mean,
it looks like they were on what's it called? Is it Vormir?
Where she lost her soul, I guess. Yeah, I guess he could do that.
And they're saying a lot of people are thinking that's her sitting there with Loki, staring off and looking at the Soul Stone.
Right. I think what's like with this situation here too, with like the Authority, like also with the various Authority also fighting them. I think that could be other Lokis fighting them. Right. I mean, at some point you probably will see the main Loki fight them. I mean, but look, like the first when he puts them down and they said, well, write this number, like this is absurd, and okay, now you got to write where they talked about that, and he's like number 1,000. So there's probably multiple Lokis out there. So
possibly
maybe this Loki can literally be not our Loki from our own. I guess. Well,
he's not going.
He's not going to be. But I'm like, he's not the Avengers 1 Loki. He could be like a Loki where he can rule over Asgard, which in one scene you actually will see him ruling over Asgard. So
right.
So yeah, which I like that, by the way.
All right, your turn, Ralph.
All right. Evan Peters is being cast as Quicksilver in WandaVision was done as both nod to fans and because per WandaVision writer Jack Schaffer?
Jack Schaffer.
Schaffer. Representation of grief clouding Wanda's memory was supposed to be more psychological and than the meaning meaning of anything. Gotcha.
Okay, so what I meant when I typed that out, which by the way, this is why you're supposed to read it. Like I don't necessarily read word for word. I gave it to him before we started. I was like, hey, look over this. Make sure you got this.
I would be bad at Hollywood.
That's okay. That's okay. So when I put this in, it was an article I was reading where Jack Schaffer was actually saying, like, to be honest, him being in it was more sad than anything else.
Right.
Because it is a representation of grief clouding your memories.
Right.
And with her grieving the way that she did and doing what she did, him showing up was supposed to be like her not remembering what her brother looked like.
Right.
Which, that's what they were going for, and honestly, I didn't see anyone pick up on that. Hell, I didn't even pick up on that.
Right. Well, like the whole show itself, it's, well, like you said, it's like her suppressing a memory that she don't have. Like, I mean, like, the one thing she even did was she run through Sword, and they're like, well, what are you doing? Like, don't do this to him. And then she even said, I can't feel you, which even in Infinity War, she said, I just want to feel you. Like, she just wants to feel him. Right. And, like, that's the whole point. Even with like, Peters is like, that those are all suppressed memories she's not trying to remember. Then, come back, like, you're here.
Right, so. and a lot of people got really mad. They were like, "Oh, we thought this was going to be this, and this was going to happen."
Ralph Boner.
And it's like,
what
guys,
is this? Yeah, fans have got a little bit toxic. They got a little bit toxic, bro.
Let Marvel tell their story. I promise you, in the end, it's going to be worth it.
Quicksilver is going to, like, they wouldn't just throw Evan Peters. It's one of those things, like, it's when not throw him out there like that.
It's the same thing, like, with what happened with Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3, when it first came out, got crapped on by so many people.
Right. When they saw the Mandarin,
because of the whole Mandarin thing,
they're like, "Oh, that," because he didn't look all badass in the trailer. Then it's like, I'm like, guys.
But when we went through and binge watched pretty much the entire MCU so that she could see it, because she hadn't seen it yet.
Right.
I realized what 3 really was more of a movie about Tony's relationship with Pepper.
Yeah. Ultimately.
I mean, it was a part of the major arc. Don't get me wrong. I mean, yeah, there's villains and
you had
AIM,
AIM, and then like
what's his face,
the extremists. You had that in there too, right? Yeah.
But like the big thing you're supposed to pull from that is his connection with Pepper and how it's grown.
Right. Which that's been since Iron Man 1. Like this whole thing, literally, is really how they are supposed to be connected.
And things like that are what allow things like him dying in Endgame. And her standing over him, basically saying bye.
That was just like another really next part of Iron Man's life, honestly.
It's moments like what Iron Man 3 was about, is how you can develop a scene like that in Endgame and it be powerful the way that it was.
Right.
And I don't know. I hate a lot of Marvel fans. Okay.
Don't go on Tumblr.
Hamilton star Renee Elise Goldsberry has joined the cast of Marvel's She-Hulk. They're saying she will play opposite of the lady that is playing She-Hulk. I don't remember the lady's name playing She-Hulk. I do apologize. But
and you said Mark Ruffalo is even in here too. Like their Hulk is in here also.
yeah, I've already known that though.
Yeah.
That's old news.
Right.
But so I've never seen Hamilton.
Yeah, I've never seen.
I don't know how well this lady can act.
Yeah.
But they seem to be pretty hyped up that she's going to be in the She-Hulk.
You probably get a lot of fans like, what you mean you haven't seen? I'm
never
with you on that. I've never seen Hamilton either. Like someone was trying to explain to him, like, that's a thing? Oh, okay, sure, whatever, cool. Let's see. The Wolverine is no longer available on Disney Plus April 2nd, possible due to licensing, which when you told me that, I was like, the Wolverine?
So the Wolverine has a fun story.
Oh dear.
It came to Disney Plus.
Right.
It got pulled off of Disney Plus.
Right, it was on there.
It came back to Disney Plus.
Right.
And now they're pulling it off again.
Pulling off again.
There's a chance that I don't know the full details. I wasn't able to find them, but I'm guessing usually when something like this happens, it's because of licensing deals. Chances are because they still have to honor Fox's licensing deals that Fox has with other companies.
Just like how Sony, yeah. Oh.
So there's chances that the Wolverine was supposed to be on another streaming service exclusively for a while. So it got pulled off of Disney Plus.
It's on, what's on Netflix?
I don't know.
No, okay, I thought it was on other shows on Netflix. Okay.
No, the Netflix is involving Sony.
Right.
I don't know what the licensing deal is, but yeah, if you guys were looking to watch it on Disney Plus,
it's no longer on there no more.
Not gonna
That's great. And I've looked on my phone TV yesterday.
But
it's there.
Don't worry, it'll be back.
Yeah, for the fifth time. We're like 4 times a day. For the fifth time, it'll be
time.
back on there.
Okay, so Eternals is still in post-production and going through cuts and edits despite having an additional year to be completed.
Right, you had a whole
This
year.
baffles me.
Yes.
You have had a full extra year to get your shit together and get things edited.
Right.
And I know a lot of it from what I was reading is because the lady that is directing it has been busy dealing with other things, with awards and from her last movie, among other things. So she hasn't actually been able to sit down and go through and say what she wants, what she doesn't. So they're still going through that process and fixing things that they might find that are messed up or whatever excuse they got.
But still, though, like you had a whole year because they're not filming it anymore. They're just
it's been done.
Yeah, it's been done. So I don't know what is this. You would think by now, like that should have been released this year, actually. But
it
is. Oh, it is. I'm sorry.
That's the November movie.
That's the November movie.
Come on, man.
I'm trying, guys. I am trying.
But they don't have much time to get it finalized before they start shipping it out to the company.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just get your shit together, Marvel.
This better be one hell of a good movie.
It better be a good movie.
Otherwise, because when you start hearing stuff like this, it's like, okay, so what's happening now?
I'll do this next one because this is strictly rumor.
Right.
This actually does not have anything directly to do with anything Marvel TV show or movie related, which is what we try to stick to, but I thought this was pretty cool. So for those of you that remember, we had talked about in the news, it was either last week or the week before, that they were planning on bringing the Echo character into
the Hawkeye series.
Right. And she was going to branch off and have her own series.
Right.
And this is a spoiler to the new Avengers comic book, so if you guys have not read it, skip ahead about 45 seconds to 5 minutes.
Right.
But Echo in the new Avengers comic just became the next Phoenix.
Which that's
so
awesome.
I'm wondering if that's not where this might eventually go in the long run in the MCU.
I mean, since they do have the X-Men and all that, or Fox's properties in general, so yeah, they could. Yeah, I can see that happening.
I mean, I'm sure we'll still get a Jean Grey Phoenix story
we're
from
still
Marvel
gonna
at some
get
point,
that at some
or from the
point.
MCU.
Right.
But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if
Kevin Feige
even
switch.
Jean apparently in the comic even Jean Grey was trying to warn her.
Right.
Because they were having a tournament to get the Phoenix power.
Right.
And she ended up winning, and she was like, the Phoenix doesn't look for who's the most powerful. It looks for whose emotions are most powerful, because it feeds off of your emotion.
Right.
And so she became the new Phoenix, and Jean was like, I got to warn you, though, this is gonna be really hard to deal with.
Right. and it could kill you. Yeah, so.
But yeah, go ahead and...
All right. There was rumor of the 90s Spider-Man would be in Into the Spider-Verse 2 with Chris Pine reprising his role. His wife stated that this is absolutely false. Chris has not been approached by Sony/Marvel to reprise his role in a 90s Spider-Man. 90s Spider-Man will not be into the Spider-Universe 2, which that's really sad. I actually would like to have seen that, actually.
Right, and this almost made my good, bad, and ugly under one of the other categories.
Because I like the 90s Spider-Man. I like the animated Spider-Man. I liked how everything about it, like from when it came on Fox Kids and everything, because it ran for like, what, 4 seasons, didn't it? 3. But I liked every single moment of it. I like Spider-Man Limited, but we're going to talk about that.
3 or 4, I don't remember.
But yeah, like I'm actually kind of shocked that they weren't going to use that character.
See, and there's so many things they could have done with this, right? If they'd have brought in 90s Spider-Man to be into the Spider-Verse too, they could have done a thing where they showed the 90s Spider-Man cartoon.
Yeah.
And when he gets sucked into a portal at the end,
when
where
he
he's getting ready to go home,
right.
He could show up into the Spider-Verse, and it would be like a continuation of the cartoon.
Right, like a continuation.
And this is where he ended up going. So it's a bummer to me because it's still my favorite iteration of Spider-Man of all time.
Right. Mine will always be Spectacular Spider-Man, but yeah, Animated Spider-Man also, I put that up there as well.
Yeah, Spider-Man the Animated Series, I grew up watching. I've watched probably the entire series as a whole 7-8 times total in life. Like, and there's definitely several episodes within that I've seen way more.
Especially when you got the black suit.
And you know what? Honestly, the black suit episodes weren't even my favorites.
Really? Oh wow, yeah, they're interesting because it's like a thin line between that hero/villain role is for me when I saw them.
Well, like my favorite episodes, it was a 2-part episode. It was either 2-part or it was a co-episode.
It was always a 2-parter.
Where they did one with Spider-Man and then one in the X-Men cartoon. I don't remember.
Yep.
But what ended up happening was Electro, and this is where I became such a huge fan of Electro. Electro came in, and he was just destroying tons of shit. He was becoming super powerful, and the X-Men came in and helped Spidey fight off Electro. And that's probably the episodes I've seen the most. But no, I love the cartoon, and it's a bummer to me that he's not going to be in it. Which I didn't even know he was rumored to be in it until I seen this news.
Right, so you read about it, and then
it's like all the things that could have been.
But you never know, man. Never say never, because it could be like a double, like where it's like it's false. But then what if he does come back? What if he is in there? It's one of those things we just don't know.
Right.
So it's like something to throw you off. So, but yeah.
All right. So April 10th, which is technically today as of this recording.
Yeah.
Is now, Fox's The New Mutants, which was the last
licensing thing that came from Fox.
X-Men-based movie Fox did, is now on HBO Max.
Right.
Which excites me, because now I can watch it, because I have yet to see it. I've heard a lot of bad things, but at least from what I've seen in the previews, I thought it looked good. And I also don't trust people anymore. Especially you. Because you like fantastic, you like Fan4stick.
He said anybody likes Fan4stick. I don't like. I just. But you know what? I can't.
No.
He's like, yo, what?
I definitely don't trust people's opinions on shows and movies because. So let me explain this. Dark Phoenix, which was the last actual X-Men movie.
X-Men that came.
That Fox did.
Right.
They did. There was the Assassin's Creed movie that had come out.
Which I like that. That was good.
And then there was another one I watched that everyone was shitting on that I can't remember. Oh, The Mummy. It's the Mummy remake. Mm-hmm. And all 3 of those movies I thought were absolutely fantastic.
I don't like Brandon Fraser.
I thought The Mummy was better than any of the original ones they did. I thought the Assassin's Creed movie was very well done.
Yeah. Again, the Assassin's Creed was good.
And I loved what they did with, like, I felt like they got the Phoenix story right, and I'm so tired of hearing people complain and being like,
well, you know they're going to complain about that shit.
Well, Phoenix, you know, why does she have to die? Look, she has to die.
Right, because Phoenix, that power.
That's how it's...
That power is too strong. It's just powerful.
And she died saving
Really, yeah, she died doing
friends.
what she did, saving her friends, like... Right, that's at the end. Like spoiled for that. Yeah, she died saving her friends on that.
But yeah, so end of the day, I'm excited. I can finally watch New Mutants.
Man, you might like it. Like I had some on and on points about like on and off, but overall it's okay. I mean, the horror aspect is there. Oh, don't get me wrong. That is there. For. So you will definitely like what they're like the whole thing, which the whole trauma and all that. But yeah, you will like that part at least. So, okay. Malcolm Spellman mentioned in an interview with comicbook.com that episode 5 is when things get real, and there is a big cameo. He even said like the cameo of the character he would love to see with Thor at some point. He then shot down rumors that it was T'Challa.
All right, so apparently this interview was actually a while ago.
Right.
I'm just now reading about it, so that's why it's in the news.
Oh yeah. Definitely.
But it spawned rumors that people thought T'Challa was going to show up in this series. And people were nervous on how people would receive that or how it would even go around, which obviously for those of you that... Oh, no, you should definitely know. If you're watching this, you know.
By now, Chad Boswick is no longer
Boswick
with us
passed
no more.
away.
Yeah.
So people were wondering how it was going to be, how he was going to be in it. I'm still, at least in some aspect, expecting a CGI Black Panther to show up somewhere.
I mean, we could do
He may not talk,
right?
But he may just show up as a character, and I don't know how they're going to do it, though. Again, I'm super excited to see what they do with the Wakanda series.
Right, cause I'm thinking, like, that's really how they're going to try to set up for Black Panther, or whatever this next thing is going to be, because I guess it's some people... Well, is it going to be Black Panther 2?
Yeah.
Okay, so it's still going to play...
And
okay.
I still personally think they just need to make Shuri the new Black Panther.
Yeah, they should go ahead.
She's the Black Panther in the comics now.
Yeah.
Just it's time.
Yeah. Well, it's family oriented, so it's like, hey, just give it to the sister. Like, this makes sense.
It's too important culturally of
to
a story to just forget Black Panther was around. Like,
yeah, you can't do that. No. And I don't think Kevin Feige would want to do that. So yeah.
All right, so that ends our normal news. That's the normal news. Oh no, actually, I wanted to touch on the rest of that. So Malcolm Spellman, he is one of the I think he's one of the writers for Falcon and the Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
And I'm super curious on who this big cameo character is. And I don't know if it's going to be somebody that's already been established or if it's going to be a new character that shows up.
Right, because he's saying somebody that he wants to see Thor with. So that's got to be somebody like powerful. I mean, they're all powerful, but somebody that's got to go, I guess, with the same level as Thor level. So, like I'm trying to think, like, could be Captain Marvel.
Maybe.
That's what I'm thinking. That's the one I can see that can. I mean, I don't like.
I'm not going to necessarily name a specific character, but I do think it's going to be a cameo from a character we've never seen.
Yeah, that's somebody.
That's what I'm guessing.
Somebody we've never seen before. By the way, episode 5 is going to be great.
If episode 4 is anything to say, episode 5 is going to be amazing.
Because it's like each episode is getting better.
Dude, this show
what the fuck,
insane.
bro? Marvel has not let up on anything from WandaVision to this shit, and I can't wait for Loki. Loki about to be crazy. Oh my god. Oh dear.
All right. So with that, we now step into the segment of our show, the Cap, the Hela, and the MODOCK. This is 3. So far, it's always been news. It won't always be news. There will be times where it'll be something else. But this is our version of the good, the bad, and the ugly. The Cap being good, the bad being Hela, and ugly being MODOCK, because MODOCK is one ugly motherfucker.
He is ugly as hell.
All right, so the Cap, the good. James Gunn tweeted earlier this week about Guardians 3 and said, "Our designers and visual development geniuses are busy creating new fantastic designs of other worlds and alien beings. I'm not sure the galaxy is big enough for all this magic. This one is huge. I'm excited."
Well,
this got me super excited. So we know that Thor and the Guardians are going to go their separate ways in the new Thor movie.
Yeah, they're, like, you may see Thor maybe 1 or 2 minutes in there, then they're just gonna. He's probably gonna dip up out of there.
What he meant to say, guys, is you're probably only gonna see the Guardians for a couple of minutes. You said Thor. It's his movie. I hope we see him way more than a couple of minutes. But yeah, so the Guardians will probably be there for 5-10 minutes.
5 minutes, and they gotta do their thing. That's what I meant to say.
And then they're gonna go off to do what they do.
Right.
Thor's gonna, carry the rest of the movie on his back with Jane Foster.
Right. You still gotta find Gamora because she's out there missing somewhere. So I mean,
here's what
you got.
I'm not gonna go into that because that's gonna be a long conversation.
Oh, we got time.
No, it involves Thor, and we'll get that when the movie's closer to being out. Because I have speculations of things that were going to happen in Thor.
But he's always using guesses.
No, this one's just I don't understand how Jane gets the hammer.
Oh,
it doesn't exist. Cap even took the hammer back to its original timeline, so it just doesn't exist.
It's not real. Oh, it's not. Sorry, it doesn't exist no more. Right.
So how does she? Anyways.
Yep. That would be a long little discussion. Like, huh?
Yeah, I have no clue what Guardians 3 is going to be about. I do know that's where they're supposed to be introducing that one dude.
Oh,
Kang the
Adam
Conqueror,
Warlock.
the Conqueror dude.
Oh, Kang the Conqueror. I was gonna say Adam Warlock also.
By the way,
Yeah, what's up?
you remember when we were doing some news a couple weeks ago?
Yeah.
And it was actually our first episode.
Yeah.
And I had said something about a character that was Reed Richards' son. I was like, you know who it is. We've talked about it before. And you're like, I have no clue who it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's Kang.
Oh, Kang the Conqueror. That's his son?
Yeah.
Holy shit. Wow.
It's his son who comes back from the future.
Huh.
Yeah, it's weird.
No, that's interesting. Like, I'm literally puzzled. Like, okay, so Kang the Conqueror is the more you know, guys. The more you know. I'm like,
at least I'm pretty sure it's Kang.
Right.
Anyways, go ahead with the next one.
Spanish voice actor Roger Perez stated he's tongue-tied, guys. I am truly sorry. Spanish voice actor Roger Perez stated that the dub who does for Tobey Maguire role in Spider-Man No Way Home.
You have messed this entire sentence up, dude.
I did? I am so sorry.
Okay, so Spanish voice actor Roger Perez stated that he is slated to dub Tobey Maguire's role in Spider-Man No Way Home. Pick up from there.
Okay, sorry about that, guys. I am trying. But yeah, like, so basically what he's saying is like, he's saying that he's going to be in the movie, guys. Like, that's literally what Roger Perez is saying. Like, he's going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home in December. Like, that's literally what he is trying to tell people. Because so that way people will be like, well, is Tobey Maguire going to be in there? Is he not? I'm like, yes, he is going to be in the movie.
Right.
I mean, we had some other things we talked about last podcast too, where it's like, yeah, he's been his stunt double has been seen in there. I'm like, yes, so more likely he's gonna be in the movie, which we just don't know how much do you think they're gonna pay him?
I don't care as long as he's in the movie.
Okay.
So a lot of you guys are probably wondering why I have that under the Hela and under bad, is what that is. Because I consider this bad news. This is bad news because I am tired of you, Marvel. I am tired of you allowing leaks and showing things in trailers that would be epic to just find out by watching the fucking movie.
Yeah.
You started with my irritation with Civil War.
When you saw Spider-Man.
I am so mad Spider-Man was in the trailer because that would have been one of those things when you went to see the movie. And trust me, everyone that went to go see it before would have went to see it regardless.
Yeah. At the end of the day, still saw the movie there. Did not care.
It would have been an amazing feeling to go to this movie, sit down, and then all of a sudden Peter Parker and Spider-Man show up and just be like, oh my God, this is epic. And that would have been a great time. At that point, you could say that there's a deal going on where we're going to do some movies with him. Cool. But you ruined it. It would have been so cool to hear the cheers of Spider-Man just showing up. I mean, there were still cheers, but it would have been even more insane.
Yeah, it probably would have leveled that whole theater.
And then you got things like this, again, involving Spider-Man, because Marvel, you suck.
Well, and the fans are evil, too, because they're like, we need more, like, Tobey Maguire, like, we need more of this, and it's like their backs against a corner, so it's like, okay, fine, here you go. Well, this person's saying this now. This person's saying this now. Are you happy now? That's pretty much what he's saying.
I know I'm going to go see the new Spider-Man movie, regardless of who's in it.
Yeah. You absolutely see it regardless, yep.
And so now, with Andrew Garfield and Tobey confirmed to play their Spider-Man parts, I'm like, you guys have kind of ruined what would have been an amazing surprise. Like, for things to unfold and then them just to show up, I would have been like,
yeah,
I would have looked like Spider-Man at the end of fucking Far From Home.
Right, and it's like, oh, like what, like what the, like, oh, there he is, like, okay.
But no.
Yeah, you said everybody coming back, like, okay. They couldn't hide leaks or nothing from it, man. And fans are still going to be like, well, what's this? We're still going to want to see more and more stuff. I'm like, they practically gave you everything. That you already know Jamie Foxx, Alfred Moore, you know everybody. That could have been a secret there too. Could have kept that on hush also. So you know everything.
We're in a day and age.
Please don't show the plot.
We're just in a day and age where people don't want to be surprised, and it sucks because like things like that, like the ending of Split. I don't know if you watched the ending of. I don't know if you watched.
Yeah,
Split.
because it went back to with Bruce at the end.
With Bruce Willis being in it, like it's for like, that to have that tie-in that like no one knew about, and you go in and you watch this, and it's a mind-blowing moment.
Right.
That like I
he
feel
tied it with that. Yep.
We're now missing because you motherfuckers aren't patient. And can't just go watch a fucking movie.
Right. It literally goes back to what we talked about in like the fans in our news section, because it's like, y'all, like, I promise you, it's like with the Charlie Cox thing. Like, they're like, we need him to be Daredevil. I'm like, the movie is already made. Like you said, the movie's made. They're petitioned. They're like 500,000 petition. Literally, they're like, we got him as Matthew Murdock, but they want him as Daredevil. I'm like, can y'all just be happy he's in the movie?
They're not going to go refilm segments of the movie just to make you dumbasses happy.
If they do that, I'm going to be... I mean, I probably won't be done, but I'll be like, what? That'll be some crazy-ass shit. Like,
and who knows? He might actually have a moment.
Right, he might have a Daredevil scene.
Let Marvel tell their story. Sit back and enjoy, you fucking people. Anyways.
We got that ran out.
Yep. We'll have it again at some point. The MODOK,
definitely.
Which is the ugly.
Ooh, that's going to be ugly.
All Spider-Man, Spider-Verse movies from 2022 and on will be exclusively streamed on Netflix per a new deal between Netflix and Sony. Now, this does not just cover Spider-Man. This is Sony signing a deal with Netflix. Their movies, period, are going to be on Netflix.
Right.
But obviously, Sony owns the Spider-Man name and movie-wise and stuff like that.
I wish Marvel can buy all the money they're making. I wish they could just get Spider-Man or get Sony's get all of it out, because they're doing too much. You're doing too much. Like, even with Venom, it's like, you need this motherfucker to be in there. You need him, bro. It's so awkward. It's kind of weird. Like, 'cause without the poster boy, it's like, oh, Venom he's his anti-hero. I mean, I'm sure.
So here's my deal. Sony. Hear me out. The PlayStation's my favorite console. I will get a PS5 whenever you guys get some on shelves.
Right.
It's just feeling like it's never going to happen at this point, but
people keep buying them every time they get on, or they're sold out everywhere. So,
but I love your guys' PlayStation, but your guys' movie department and your guys' music department are some of the most terrible people I have ever seen in my life.
Yeah, music is that's all a story there too.
You guys reach out to block people's reactions instead of claiming them for your music.
Mm-hmm.
You do stupid shit instead of just either selling Spider-Man back or just getting along with Marvel. You guys want to argue with them all the time and steal things. Like, just fucking stop. Fucking stop.
It's like, even with, and don't get me wrong, like I said, we're still gonna see Venom 2, because that comes out this year, in October, so we're still gonna see that. But that's just like, just think, what if Spider-Man and Venom versus Carnage? That
would have been epic.
Would have been epic. Oh, that would have been so fucking epic. And he still goes kill Spider-Man, try to kill him at the end. Okay, now we did this. You and I are still gonna have this. Like, don't get it twisted. Like, people we're still gonna have this moment once we just gonna take care of this first.
Right.
But yeah, that's a damn shame.
But that ended up getting put in the ugly, basically just because, like, I feel like the Spider-Man movies and stuff should be on Disney Plus. Like, it
who wanted this?
It makes sense. Like, I wouldn't care if Sony signed an exclusive deal and put everything but their Marvel movies on, and then signed a deal with Marvel to put the Marvel ones on Disney Plus. Like,
it's like you're trying to torture fans right there. It's kind of weird.
No, the thing is, they don't care about fans.
They
just care about that money.
Yeah, and that's why Sony, I just wish they can just give it the proper thing. But that's their pride and joy since, 2002? They're like, we're not giving up shit.
And you guys ain't gotten it right in like 10 movies.
They really actually haven't. No, it's kind of bad. And
major exaggeration.
Right. And really, they got it, and all MCU did, they got it right within the first, 3 minutes of a movie. That's exaggeration there, too. Like damn, you got it right there. That's all it took was that little Captain America Civil War scene, and that's it. Now we're sold into it, so. But it is what it is.
All right. Now,
get back some good news here, people.
That was the end of
some good news here.
The Cap, the Hela, and the MODOK. Now we will move on to our episode breakdown. And before we even get started into breaking the episode down, let me say this. Mm-hmm. This is, so far, the best episode in this series. And I hear it's only going to get better.
Yeah.
That is something this series has done very well. Every episode has been better than the last for me. I know you liked the first episode more than the second one. But for me, every episode has progressively gotten better and better and
I don't
better.
know. This one might have to take the first episode actually, because
this one was just so fantastically done. It confirmed some more theories that I had. Which, by the way, every time I come up with a theory, I read somebody else come up with it on comicbook.com or, whatever other news source.
Yeah.
And I'm like, see, people think like me.
Even though I was kind of right that about one little scene in the part. I was like, oh, I knew that was going to happen, because I'm like, why would you do this? And I'm like, I knew it. I knew he was going to. Yeah, but we get there, I'll let you know. Like, yeah. So.
But if you have not seen it, pause this podcast now. Go do yourself a favor.
Right.
Go watch this episode.
Yeah.
And then come back and finish the podcast, because I'm telling you now, you guys will not be disappointed in this episode. This whole series has been fantastic.
Yeah, overall, the series is good. For real. I'm not letting that,
out fucking standing. So.
Yeah, Marvel, that's another hit out of the park, man. Home run. Man.
All right. Scene 1. We open, and I loved how they did this. We open with a flashback of how Winter Soldier learned to no longer respond to the words that controlled him.
That was interesting, like therapy. Now, that was like a therapy moment, like literally.
And
I like that.
Some cool things that I learned from watching some other videos. If you notice, the Wakandan drums that are in Black Panther were playing underneath in the build up to them getting to the scene. And technically, a situation like this is called a trial by fire.
Right.
And they're actually by a fire, so it's a legit trial by fire. So the way they did this was actually excellently done. It was really cool to see the lady that showed up at the end of the last episode. She's the one that actually helped him get through the mind control.
And I just want to say, Sebastian Stan,
excellent acting.
Bro, his emotion, like, I gotta give it to him. I like,
excellent acting there.
Yeah, I was excellent acting on that one. That was good. Because he was struggling with it, and it was like she was just repeating the same thing, homecoming, all the stuff that Zemo would say, and he was like, it's not gonna work, and she's like, I promise you, it will work. It's gotta, it'll work.
Gotta give it a chance.
Right, give it a chance. That's what's up.
So then, he ends up crying at the end of it.
Yeah.
Because it's kind of, I guess, a relief to know that it's no longer going to be an issue.
He's not going to be a zombie.
He's not going to be killing people. He's going to be able to be himself. But then they transition to them standing back in the alleyway again, and they're standing there talking, and she's like, I want Zemo.
Yeah.
And it was kind of a longer conversation, but to sum it up, basically, we all know
what happened.
He was the reason T'Chaka died.
Right.
In Civil War.
Right. Even Falcon made a joke about it. You think the Wakandans forgot? Or never really joke about it, but he said, newsflash, they never did. And I'm like, you're right. They never forgot about
Right, you're jumping ahead in the episode, by the way.
Oh.
But yeah, so at the end of it, they gave him 8 hours.
Was it? Yeah, it was 8 hours. Yes, it was.
They're like, you've got 8 hours, and then we're going to come collect him.
And they were, and that's the most gangster, savage thing ever. And they were 8 hours. Not
you got 8 hours.
8 hours, nothing less.
So then they transition from there, and Bucky's walking back into the apartment or loft. I think it's a loft.
I think it's like a little hideout loft thing. Yeah.
Where Zemo and Falcon are. And he tells them that the Wakandans were there.
He just tells them, right?
He's like, hey, the Wakandans are here. They want Zemo.
And he told him, you got 8 hours or something. And they told him the whole thing. I said, dang, he didn't even try to hide it. He said, yo, they're for your head, bro. They're coming to get you, man.
And then all of a sudden, Bucky starts scrolling through his phone while they're having a conversation, and he sees that Carly has bombed the GDR, whatever they are.
GRC? Yeah,
the GRC supply camp that they had.
And they killed...
It was killed 2 or 3 people, but injured 4 or 5 others.
Right. One had a family, I believe. Yeah.
And at which point Zemo walks up and he's kind of like, "Do you guys have what it takes to finish this mission? Because I do."
Yeah, Zemo is actually.
And Zemo's
been saying that since the last episode.
Zemo's of the mind you got to kill these people. There's no in between. There's no maybe bringing him back. There's none of that. He's like, you got to be able to just take people out.
He almost has the way New Cap be thinking, literally yo, are you ready to kill this? Because she's like a teenager? She's like a teenager.
I think she's 18 or 19.
Right, he's ready. Zemo ready to go ahead and bang, pull the plug and go ahead and go and bang, bang, call that night.
Right. He says that they can't kill the people as they have to. Zemo goes on this whole rant about how the serum creates supremacy.
Right.
Or supremacy thoughts.
Supremacy thoughts, I think, yeah.
But yeah, he just basically goes on this whole rant saying like she's never going to be a decent person. She's constantly going to think she's empowered and better than everyone else. And so the people are going to have to bend to her will, things like that. And then Bucky's like, you might be wrong though.
Right, even like because people can change, and I'm like, well, he's a primary example.
And he was like, and Zemo kind of looks at him. He's like, I mean, Steve Rogers. And then Zemo looked at him and was like, yeah, but there's never been another Steve Rogers. And
Falcon's
he's right.
I got Falcon too. He's like, what?
But they decided in order to find Carly after another weird conversation about TT.
That was weird. That whole conversation. TT. Well, your TT is
right. But they decided they're going to go to the funeral service, basically to find Carly because I know that's where she's probably going to be.
Right.
At which point, Zemo offers Sam a Turkish delight. So this kind of threw me for a loop. I'm not going to lie to you guys. I did not know Turkish delights were real.
Yep, and
the only time I've ever seen Turkish delights ever, even mentioned, was the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. And I'm talking about the original BBC Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. I'm not talking about like the new
the one that came in 2005
remake-ish one that they did.
Turkish delight.
But yeah, so I thought they were absolutely fake.
He thought they were fake, and it's kind of funny though because I realized like they had like Turkish delights, and I was like, oh okay. I knew about it, but when I heard about, like I said, was Lion, Witch, and the Wardrobe also, but it was 2005, and I was like, it was like, they looked like they were like in a bread type thing, but this was more like a candy, like something you can suck on, like, oh, okay, like, oh, like, I didn't know that, so, yeah.
Right.
So.
Alright, so, next scene, Flag Smashers are all sitting around this, like, abandoned, tore down building.
Mm-hmm.
Ruins of a building. And they're listening on their phones to what appears to be like a news broadcast.
Right.
And the news broadcast. Ha!
Nice.
The news broadcast.
Giggity.
Was basically calling the Flag Smashers terrorists, and it's kind of forced them into wanting to basically fast forward getting things back to normal, which was the exact opposite of what they were wanting to have happen. Because they want the borders to remain open,
they want
and everyone to work together. And
it's
and the global
GRC they're like no,
they're like nah, now we're trying, we got to get it to where everything's back to normal, borders are closed,
and they don't want back to normal, they want everything to be free, open, because like they want everything where it was before all this shit happened. So
right. Which at one point Carly stands up, and she walks away and kind of stares off in the distance while the thing's still going, and it was continuing to say things like these terrorists believe in what they're doing, and a bunch of people are slowly starting to agree with them.
Right. Which they believe that and what they're believing, they call it like a cause or something, like they believe in what they're doing, or they got a following, as they call it. Yeah.
And then it transitions to Zemo, Bucky, and Sam showing up to the building where Adani had died.
Right.
And when they walk in, they decide they're going to kind of split up and try and find out where Adani's service is being held. And Sam ends up going upstairs, and he's like walking around, and he finds some people that are in the upstairs like office areas.
Right.
And he's walking up, and he's like, "Hey."
And people are like, "No." They're getting up.
He's like, "Hey, do you know who Adani is?"
They're like, "Yo,"
and they're getting up, walking
they're
out of the
doors.
room, shutting doors.
Oh my
hiding.
God! He's like, "Hey, can you guys help me?" Like, no. They're like, "No, I don't know who that is." Like, they're just getting. They like know who that is. Like, hey.
He eventually finds the Flag Smashers logo on like a box of some sort.
Right, that was the first time we saw it, like on the box. Yeah. Then they show it like on computers and stuff too. It's just like, okay, so obviously.
Right. So he walks into this back room upstairs, and there's this guy sitting there teaching this kid something, because I'm guessing he's like being the teacher of whatever they're learning.
Right.
And they have a little conversation where Sam's like, I used to help people like you guys, like, and
he knows
I could call somebody and get things to you guys, and he's like, look, I know who you are.
Right. He said straight up.
He's like, but I don't trust you.
I don't trust you. Like, he said straight up, I know who you are. I know everything about you. So that's why everybody's all like, nope.
He's basically, thanks, but no thanks. Your government has done nothing to help anything.
And that's really kind of sad in a way, Dad, because it's like,
right,
they haven't done, dang. Well, yeah, that's messed up.
So then, it goes to Bucky asking around, and he's like his isn't in detail. They're not going into detail with his conversations. You see him talking to somebody. The person shakes their head, and Bucky walks away.
Yeah, it was. Like here's another thing too. Like before he went upstairs, he was telling him, "Hey, make sure he don't go there." Why did Bucky look at him with the stare-eyed dead? He gave the stare-eyed dead look. He's like, "I'll stay out of your way, bro." He walk, bro. Like start walking. I'm like, bro.
Right.
He gave him the death stare look. Like I will choke you, dude. Stop playing with me.
So they start. So Bucky goes to walk towards the back of the courtyard, and all of a sudden you see Zemo. And he starts singing, "Ba ba black sheep,
you said
have you any wool?"
That is a scary nursery rhyme coming out of him.
Now, there's a reason he sung that song. I don't remember the historical origin of that song. It had to do with because we were watching an Easter egg video last night on it, and they had talked about how it was actually a song that's actually relevant to this situation.
Right.
Because the old nursery rhyme or song was created because of kings helping their own people out or something like that, but not helping like the lower class.
Right.
And again, there's a full like background detail you guys could go and look up if you want. But so he's singing the Ba Ba Black Sheep song, and the kids, and again, it's a kids' nursery song.
Right. But it was just very haunting how he was singing. Cause I thought like he was like because
it's one I learned in school.
Right.
And I think he did that because he knew the kids would be less likely to run away because, like, hey, he knows the songs that we sing, right? So they're a little more open.
That's kind of manipulative in a way. Because I'm like, but I know
what do you think he's good at? Manipulation.
Yeah, manipulation. Because he literally just starts singing, and the kids literally all just like, oh, and then he pulls out a bag.
Yeah, he walks up, he pulls a chair over, he pulls a little like table bench over, sets it in front of him, sits down, pulls out that bag, drops the Turkish Delight,
and they all came to it, and I was like, damn, just like that, huh? Just like that.
Little girl walks up to him, and he's like, "Hi," and he was talking real sweet to him.
Right.
He's like, "You want a Turkish Delight? It was my son's favorite," which I didn't know Baron Zemo had. He might not. This might be him straight up lying to her.
Right. I thought well, we don't know who that was on the phone during Civil War. So you're right. Yeah. Well, I thought he had a family at first.
He might have.
Right.
I don't know much about him as a character.
Right.
And actually, the way he said it though, his son might have died.
Right. Okay.
So.
Right.
But so the kid, he's gaining the kids' trust.
Right. And they were all coming. Everybody was coming. All the kids and Winter Soldier. He was wondering like.
Right. And at this point, Sam walks up as well, and he's watching what's going on, but they can't hear what's being said.
Right. They can't.
And Zemo leans in, and he's like, "Hey, do you know where Adani's service is?"
Right.
And the little girl was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Can you tell me? She's an old friend of mine, and I just want to go pay my respects." And she leans in, whispers in his ear.
I thought it was like where she was getting buried, not where I thought it was where she was getting buried at, like not where the service was. Okay. So,
no.
Okay.
So he was like, "Okay," and that's when he looked at her, and he was like, "See these two men behind me? They're very bad people. Don't trust them." Which I don't think. On one hand, I think it was more further manipulation.
Sure.
So that she wouldn't tell them, because again, he which he'll mention later, he needed to keep his leverage.
Right.
But at the same time, like it's more so they continue to trust him.
Right.
And it's because I don't think he necessarily he knows Sam and Bucky aren't bad people. If anything, he knows he's the bad person.
Right. Yeah.
He's not stupid.
Right.
But like.
But the kids don't. The kids don't know. Hey, the kids are like, hey, hey, you see them? They bad, bro. Just tell me everything. Tell me everything. I'm your guardian angel, as they call it, like or whatever. So
right. So then the next scene is Zemo, Bucky, and Sam in their loft. Secret hideout, whatever.
Right.
Having a conversation, and Sam is actually agreeing at this point with her cause.
Right.
He's like, honestly, I believe in what she's doing.
Right.
Thank you for the sub. At that point, I've really got to remember to turn that off.
Nice.
So at that point, Zemo tells them where the funeral is.
Right.
And Zemo even says he didn't tell him because he felt like he had to keep his leverage.
Right.
So that he could still be useful.
Right.
And Bucky kind of loses his shit for a minute.
He smacked that. It was like green tea or something. I was like, bro, I like tea. I like that type of tea. He went boom, and he was getting ready to. He's like, you want me to show you some anger? Like I thought he was going Zemo. Oh my god.
Yeah, he took it and then he stood there and he was like, he was like, how's this for leverage? And he fucking launches it and it shatters against the wall. And Zemo, you can just see his butthole pucker through his face.
Because this is the second time.
Because he's like,
Winter Soldier was going to get his ass. It was the second time he was going to get him.
And
3 strikes, you might get out. Because I'm like, second time he was going to get him. Because like, yo, what?
So then Sam tells him to back down.
Right.
Bucky backs down, and you see Zemo go, like Zemo kind of untenses as he walks away. And he's even like he knew he was about to catch it.
Second time he's about to catch that. He said, "You want some tea?" He said, "Nah, you can have some." Because he was gonna get it. Because he's not telling them nothing. And I'm like, "What the fuck is this shit, bro? What is this?"
See, he dropped an F-bomb.
Oh, I did.
All right.
I'm like, Zemo, you're playing with your life right now. I don't understand.
So then Sam calls Sharon, asks her to keep an outside eye on Cap.
Yeah, on John. Where's he at?
And it's showing her walking around. Now, this is important because I noticed something on the second watch through, which I pulled you into the office to show you.
Right.
When I was watching the second time I was watching through the show. And as she's walking and talking, she walks past this group that's a line of people with fully automatic rifles.
I think they work for her.
Well, here's the thing. This shows she's definitely important.
Yeah.
In the underground scene.
Mm-hmm.
If you guys remember last week, I've made this prediction that she could be at least part of the Power Broker.
Right.
Because I had the prediction that both Baron and her make up the Power Broker together.
Right. I'm thinking she may know something about the Power Broker. That's what I'm thinking.
Here's my problem. I no longer believe he's involved, Zemo.
Right.
Because otherwise he wouldn't have destroyed all those vials later in this episode the way he did.
Right.
So she's definitely somebody important. I think she's either the Power Broker or she's working for the Power Broker.
Right. Or, yeah.
We'll go into another prediction I think is be interesting, which we will come back and recall on this moment.
Oh, definitely.
He knows what I'm talking about. We actually had a conversation with a guy at work over it. But yeah, so she's definitely somebody important in this whole
she's on the phone talking.
Things.
She said things are about to get crazy out here. Like, yo, like, cause
Power Broker's not happy.
Yeah, Power Broker's not happy. Well, yeah.
So then next scene we see Carly and that dude walking together, which ends up kind of like being her like best friend, or maybe even possible love interest.
Right, love interest
at some point.
At some point, yeah.
And they're walking together, and the guy and her have a conversation, and he's like, you know what's funny? I actually used to be a fan of Captain America when I was younger. He was like, he was kind of a symbol of what's good in the world.
Because they were at a gravesite, right? Yeah, because
they moved some stones around
to get the vials of power. So I was like, oh, well, that's where it was. That whole shit.
They were hiding the vials there. She put on the little fanny pack of vials.
Fanny pack.
That's what I'm calling it. It's a fanny pack.
It was a fanny pack.
And then they sit there and have a conversation, and he's like, I didn't believe anybody could be that good again until you came along.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, you remind me of having the same ideals that Steve did.
Right.
And then she also feels how Sam felt in the last episode.
Right.
In terms of, like, she feels the shield has been turned into a form of oppression.
Yeah, and even she said, like, it needs to be destroyed.
And she's like, it needs to be destroyed.
So that's exactly what Sam said in the last episode. Like, yeah,
so they have very parallel ideas.
That's what I said. Really, they are. Now I'm starting to... Yes, last episode, I was kind of like, this is a crazy bit. Like, but now I'm starting to see, okay...
Which I tried to tell him about, guys.
Like, this is a crazy bit.
I was like, they're not necessarily bad guys. They're just not doing things the right way.
What are you doing, girl? But yeah.
So then they transition. You see Cap and Battlestar walking down the street. And Cap's like, I can't believe you would do something this stupid, Sam.
And I don't know how they find him.
No one knows.
Oh my God.
Well, they're Avengers inside a city.
Okay.
People know that they're there.
Okay, because I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Because that's what Battlestar said. Because remember?
Oh, yeah, he did.
Sam was like, how'd you find us this time?
I'm like, what the fuck? Whoa, what happened?
And Battlestar was like, you mean 2 Avengers walking around the city and nobody's going to know?
Okay. I was like, bro, they just appear like out of nowhere. I'm like, yo, what the hell? Like, wow, okay.
So then they want to know why Bucky broke out Zemo, and obviously, I mean, they told him straight up. They were like, we
need him.
We need him.
Yeah, we need him.
And Zemo was like, I'm the only person that knows where Carly's at. And Cap like wants to just take Zemo in right away, but he's like, okay,
yeah, he really does.
You know where she's at. That's a bigger threat right now. Take us to where she's at. So they all kind of walk together.
Right. They literally do. He said, "My client's over there," which is that little girl that he talked to, where she's at. So
he points to the little girl and he's like, "Hey, that's my that's the client. That's the person that's going to take us." And what was it? Sam wants to reason with Carly. I keep forgetting what her name is.
Right.
Sam wants to reason with Carly. Mm-hmm. And Cap's like, no, we just need to go in and apprehend her.
Yeah.
And he's like, look, I've done this. I've talked with people like this. Like, this is what I did after everyone disappeared.
But is John isn't wrong in this? I mean, in a way, like
I think he is.
Oh, you think he is? Like I was
because
like kind of like I was teaming with both of them. I would say both of them are the right and the wrong out of this.
Anytime you have a chance to talk someone
down, that's like they'll let him do it.
It could always be a better, especially if it's somebody that has experience in it. There can always be a chance for a better outcome than just going in and fighting and possibly hurting other people.
Right.
Or getting people killed.
Right. Okay. Because I was like, well, John is somewhat right. I said, but he's somewhere like, okay, well, maybe we do need to apprehend this person. But I do kind of agree with Falcon. Like, okay, yeah, maybe if even Battlestar was like, if we could talk this person down, then let's not do no bloodshed out here, man. Like,
right.
So.
And that's when Battlestar popped in.
Right.
And he's like, yo, bro,
right.
If
it can happen, right?
Let's let it go. Let's let it do it.
Even John, but see now this is like stage one of John. Just like, what'd you say? He want the backhand.
Right, you're agreeing with someone else.
He want the backhand. He looked like, what you mean? Bam. Like what?
But he finally reluctantly agrees. He's like, all right, fine.
Yeah.
Zemo ends up paying the little girl. It looked like it was like 500 whatever.
Whoa, yeah, it was like some money, like some good money he gave her. Like
whatever their currency is.
And they still got money, so yeah.
They end up following her. They get to this building, and she points to a room.
Right.
And that's where Zemo's like, all right, they're in there. And Cap ends up handcuffing Zemo.
Handcuffed the shit out of him. Nope, he ain't going nowhere.
And he basically tells Sam, he's like, all right, you got 10 minutes. In 10 minutes, I'm going to come in.
I thought he got less time. Oh, it was 10 minutes. Okay, I thought it was less time than that. Like
no, it was 10 minutes.
10 minutes on the dot. Right.
But he ended up giving him less time.
Okay, I'm going to say, because he gave 5 minutes, 3 minutes? Like, damn, he gave him 10.
He gave him 7, 8
minutes. He even
minutes.
looked at the... He like, fuck this shit, I'm going in
But we'll get to that in a second. Yeah. So, they pan back they pan back into the room, and Carly's running the service. Yeah, she's giving her eulogy.
This is really a good moment here. Because
and it's kind of showing you who she is as a person and why she believes in what she believes in. And she sees Sam step in and watch from above.
Yep. Yeah, watch from above.
And she actually sees him. At this point, she really doesn't take her eyes off of him at all.
Yeah, she really didn't. Damn. She kept eye contact. Yeah.
She kept eye contact with him. And so they also pan back to Cap getting frustrated. Right. He's like, he's walking around. He's pacing.
He's like pacing. He is pacing. And you see Bucky, he's really just at the stair because Bucky, he's so ready to go into action at any freaking moment right now. Like, anything pop off, he's ready to go. He's ready to do it, man.
Oh yeah, he's ready to go.
Like, and that's why he's at the stairs. He's like, okay, I wish you would pass me. Like, I wish you would.
So after everyone leaves, Sam approaches Carly, and he's like, I'm alone. I just want to talk. He apologizes for her loss. Like, I'm sorry. Right. I know she meant a lot to you. And he tells her that he understands her. And he tries to tell her, because she says something about she's trying to make the world a better place, and he's like, it's not a better place if it involves killing people, though.
Right.
And she says something. She says something along the lines of like, they're all robots under the scheme. I'd kill them again if I could. And he points out, he's like, you're kind of, not in the exact words, but in a roundabout way, he kind of starts pointing out that she's sounding like a supremacist.
Yeah.
In her ideals.
Right, like a dictator. Right.
And at this point, they pan back again to the room, And at this point, Cap's giving up. He's like, I'm no longer going to wait. And he goes
But he
to
looked
walk
at the
in.
clock first, and then I'm not waiting no more. I'm like, I'm going.
Right. He goes to walk.
And then Bucky's like, oh.
And Bucky steps in front of him. He puts his hand up.
And he put the metal hand up. He's like, yo, what you doing? Not just any, he put that vibranium hand up. Like, what you doing, bro? Like, hold on.
Now, there were no words exchanged, though.
Oh, yeah. This is the action.
They just stared at each other.
Yeah.
And then it pans back to the room again, and Sam's telling her, he's like, look, I'm not your enemy. I agree with your cause. I just don't agree with how you're going about your cause. And he says, and I guarantee you she wouldn't agree with it either.
Right.
And he points to Adani. Mm-hmm. And at this point, you can almost see Carly starting to have her mind changed.
Yeah, it was going.
Like, and the acting here was so good. Like, you could see her going from... You can see her going from being just like this aggressive, like, right. I can't stand this, to like that slow evolution to...
Right.
Being like, you might be right. Almost, like, you can almost see it in her eyes.
And then here come Doofus. What's good, Miley? What's good?
Here comes
What's
Doofus
up, Carly?
America.
What's good? And Battlestar. What's happening? I'm here.
He pops in. And he's like,
a
Carly,
bad habit.
Carly, you're under arrest.
Right, yeah.
She pushes Sam.
And she was like, also, this was the plan. This was your plan all along. And she just dipped.
And she dipped.
And then Bucky dips right.
Bucky gets chased. Without hesitation.
This was so good.
It wasn't a Sam going, hey, Bucky, you chase or nah, he's on it.
He's on it. He's so on that shit, bro. I can't believe it.
Or no, it wasn't Sam. She punched Cap because Cap got super close.
Right.
And she punched the shield, which pushed it into his face, basically.
Yeah, Doofus went that way, and then Bucky just instinct. He was gone. Mm-hmm. She jumped. He jumped right behind her. They both did superhero landings. He said, "No, you not. Where you going?"
And then they pan back to the room they were in, and the handcuffs are empty.
And Zemo is gone. And I said,
Zemo's gone.
Here we go. I knew it. Ralph was right. Zemo is not here. What the hell happened, y'all? Why y'all?
And then it pans back to some more of the chase, and Carly ends up losing him. Completely.
You mean Bucky? I thought Bucky lost him.
And that's what I'm saying. Carly lost them.
Yo, lost him. Oh, okay. Yeah, because he was like, they went, I lost him. Because he was gone. He was trying to catch her for a minute, though. He was jumping with her. That's crazy.
So then we see Carly run into this room.
Yep.
And she's walking slowly through the room, and then all of a sudden Zemo steps out, points a gun and fires, hits her.
Yeah, I thought he killed her.
I think he hit her like right in her side.
Right in her side. So yeah, she was still living.
And she stumbled over this table, which when she flipped over, she took the table down with her for like a shield.
Yeah, like a shield. Right.
But in the process, lost the fanny pack full of...
Which I don't know why you still have them on you right now. Or I would have gave it to one of the... I get it, she's the leader, but that's something you should be guarding with other people that you trust.
Right.
Why are you having that on you? Knowing you got motherfuckers trying to kill your ass.
Right.
Yeah, they're trying to kill you.
But they're all over the floor.
Right.
And Zemo's walking up to the table. She sticks her head out. He fires right by her head.
You ain't gonna get him. You're not getting him. Bang, bang, ain't getting him.
And she jumps back around. And all of a sudden, Zemo bends over and he picks up a vial and he looks at it.
I was so ready.
And for a moment, you could tell he had this thought of, maybe what if I take it?
Right.
But then all of a sudden, he took it and he threw it down.
Yeah.
Smashed it.
And
then he started going through and stomping on
shot
all
like
of them.
Jordan, stomping them. He just basically destroying them. He's destroying every last one of them.
While he's in the process of destroying them, Carly makes a break for it.
Yeah, she just dips.
She runs up the stairs
where
she sees that dude.
Yep.
They take off, and then all of a sudden you see the shield fly out of fucking nowhere right into Zemo's face. It's whack.
I'm sorry, that's a good if you were to write a comic book of the 80s or whatever, it's what kaplunk. That was poor Zemo. He got knocked.
Zemo got knocked. Like we need Chris Tucker.
Oh, where's Chris Tucker?
You got knocked the fuck out.
Because I'm like, yo, it made me laugh so loud. I was like, yo, he got cleared. He got cleared, bro. He got cleared. Poor Zemo. He can catch a break.
Cap looks down.
Yeah.
And sees all the liquid laying on the floor.
Right.
From all the broken vials, and he happens to glance over.
Yeah, that's
and
not pandering nothing.
One more vial sitting there. He walks over and he holds it in the same way Zemo did, staring at it.
Like it's money.
And he slipped it into his pocket.
Right. And then they all come back like, what happened? And I'm like, oh, okay. So
everyone else runs in.
Right.
So then they pan over to the next scene.
Mm-hmm.
And Carly and that dude
Right.
are sitting there having a conversation, and she tells him, she's like, it's all gone.
Yeah.
We have nothing anymore.
Yeah.
And he tells her, he's like, we're still stronger than them.
Yeah. You still got people who are stronger, like, yeah.
And he's kind of
giving her confidence.
Giving her confidence.
Because she...
And she's like, honestly, because of all this, she's talking to people she probably never would have talked to before.
Right.
People that, because of the whole situation where people disappeared, when it came to everyone working together throughout the world to help each other, she met new people she never would have been friends with before, has become great friends with them.
Right.
And she's like, you're right, this fight we have to do. And she goes on to say that, what was it?
But like,
oh no, they're talking, and then another dude comes out of nowhere and lays something down in front of her. And I don't remember what he laid down. It might have been the phone.
Yeah,
But then
I'm trying to think that was too.
he walks around her and then picks the phone back up.
Right.
Which I didn't understand what all that was about.
Yeah, that was...
And they look at her, and he's like, it's the power broker. He said the power broker said...
Yeah, but
that he wants... He wants
coming for
he
you.
wants the serum back, or he's going to come find us.
Right. I thought he was coming... Oh, okay, well, yeah, that too. I thought he just said he's coming for you, Carly, because she's the main one that just ran off with it. And so this is...
So then
interesting.
She says she'll deal with the power broker when the time comes. But right now, we have to separate the heroes and then kill Cap. That's her plan. She feels like they need to kill Captain America.
Which that will come back to your theory. Like, well, they got to kill that dude. Or like I said, well, they might as well kill him.
So then Sam messages Sharon. Okay, so they're back in the loft. And it's Zemo's laying on the couch. He's got that hot compress on.
Yeah, because he got kaplunked.
He got his ass whooped.
He got kaplunked. And you just see his... First of all, you see his hair. His hair like that way.
And Sam's messaging Sharon to let him know if Cap makes any moves.
Right.
And then Zeno asks Sam straight up, he's like, if you would have ever been given the opportunity to take the super soldier serum, would you have? Sam, without hesitation, no.
Yeah, said no.
And Zemo was even like, without hesitation.
Without hesitation.
I like that.
Right. So without hesitation, he would not take that serum.
And Zemo then says that they can't hold hope out on Carly, and they can't allow super soldiers to exist.
That was in the trailer when you said that.
And then Sam was like, well, what about Bucky? And Zemo kind of stared off a little bit, and I kind of got this feeling that Zemo might have been planning to kill Bucky after this was all done, because he would have been like the last super soldier.
Yeah.
Because he kind of stared off into space and almost had that look in his eye like we would have dealt with that when the time comes.
Right.
Type of thing.
Right. Because he never gave an answer. He just got quiet. Really quiet.
And then that's when Bucky comes into the room.
Right.
And Bucky comes in and, again, starts kind of being a dick to Sam, being like, you shouldn't have given up the shield.
Right, the same thing.
And he's like, I didn't, it's not like I gave the shield to the new Cap. And he's like, well, Steve sure didn't.
Right.
Which is fucked up.
Yeah, that is kind of fucked up. You said that.
He was referring to Sam not being the Cap that Steve wanted.
Right.
I was like, that.
Because Steve would never have gave that shield. He had to kill you. I think from his cold dead hands to do it, bro.
But as soon as he said that,
here come Doofus came and found nowhere.
Doofus America and Battlestar walk in. And Doofus America is like, we're going to take Zemo into custody. And he's like, and Sam, the balls of the group.
Oh, yeah.
Steps up and he's like, look, just because you have that shield doesn't mean you're Captain America. And he's like, it doesn't mean you're running anything. The only thing you're doing is running your mouth.
And then John was like, okay.
And John was like, oh.
Fuck it, let's go.
John goes, you want to do this?
Yeah, we can totally. I was ready for
today.
I was ready for it. I was so ready.
Do I need to make the shield? Do I need to put the shield down to make it a more
An
fair
even
fight?
I was so ready. I was so ready for this fight. And then Sam was like, come on, man. Ain't no come on, man. Sam, he ready to fight, bro. Don't you understand? He's ready to fight. This is what we've been seeing since episode 2. He's been ready to fight people right now. Oh, my God. That's crazy, bro. I was ready for that fight, man.
So then as soon as he says that, you see this figure. It's out of focus.
Yeah, it was weird.
You kind of see this figure move in the background into the doorway, and then
First,
all
I
of a
didn't
sudden,
see it at first. I was like, "Oh wow, there it is."
all of a sudden, you see the spear fly in right in front of Cap's face, and he looks over, and it's the what are they called?
The Dora Milaje.
The Dora Milaje.
Dora Milaje, the elite group of Wakandians. Yep.
The two ladies walk in, and they're like, "We're here for
I thought it was
Zemo."
like 5 of them. I thought it was like four or five of them that showed up.
No, it's only 2 of them.
Oh damn, they were kicking ass like that. Wow, just 2 of them. You know, okay, shit. All right.
They said they were there to get Zemo.
Yeah, they were. 8 hours up.
And this is where one of the most fun fight scenes so far
You
in the
find this shit on
series
YouTube, guys.
is happening. Yo. So, what initially happened before the fight actually started, though, John is trying to calm the situation.
And I'm like, please don't.
And he's like, you don't have any jurisdiction here.
That's like if Black Panthers just showed up. You're not gonna.
And she's like, the Dora Milaje have jurisdiction wherever they stand.
Right, wherever they stand, they have jurisdiction. Like they are the judge, jury, executioner.
They pan over to Sam, and he's like, "Yo,
Please
you want to fight Bucky before you fight these
Right.
these women."
These women are here they're there to just get him. That's the mission. That is their mission.
And at that point, Sam says, "Why don't we just talk about it?" And he slaps her in the shoulder, and she
didn't like that.
was not happy. She was not happy.
I can't believe it.
They start fighting.
Yeah. And John. So it was Sam. I thought it was John that said, "Why don't we talk about?" He went.
No, it was John.
It was John. Okay, and Dora Milaje went like, "Nope," and like it's like a weird little arm grip, and she just threw him. She threw him, bro. Like,
right.
Oh my god.
So this whole fight scene breaks out, and it's the Dora Milaje versus
Cap
and Battlestar.
And Battlestar's just getting his ass kicked. He couldn't even do it.
And Sam and Bucky are standing back.
And you see Zemo.
And Sam's like, "Bucky, man, we should really help.
And then pan back.
And then they pan back to the fighting, and Bucky goes, "You're doing a good job, John."
Doing a good job, John. And he's getting his ass kicked so fucking badly. And then you see Zemo. Zemo is just drinking.
And this whole time, Zemo's just sitting there taking sips.
That is the most
awesomest
awesomest thing ever. He is just drinking. He's like, "Yo, this is great."
And then Sam's like, "No, we really should help them."
Right, because they're going to kill him. They're going to kill him.
So just as she's about to put her spear through John,
he was good. Yeah.
Bucky grabs the spear to try and stop
like,
what's going on.
Come on, Ayo, come on.
He's like, "We don't have to do this." And then we also see Sam starting to get into a fight with the other one.
Yeah, because they were gonna kill him. They were gonna kill their asses, bro.
And this is also where we start to see Zemo backing out.
And this is when my theory came in. I was like, "Yes, here we go."
Well, we both had agreed he was going to escape.
But yeah.
That was a for sure thing going to happen.
Yeah, he was going to escape because I'm like, once you let him out of prison, I was like, "Here we go." Here we go.
But yeah, he backs out. He backs into the bathroom and he closes the doors behind him.
It was like Pink Panther style. He went doo 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 doo.
Nobody noticed.
Nobody didn't notice.
So then the fight scene continues.
Oh yeah, it's still going.
And again, the most amazing moment fight scene wise I feel in this entire episode, not most fucked up, but most amazing, was when old girl goes to fight Bucky and she does this weird thing.
Yeah, she shut it.
Where she's like poking at his arm
to shut it down,
and then rips it off.
Right, it was like it was shut down mode. He pulled it off, and then you just see Bucky's face.
He's like,
he was shocked, like whoa, like even Falcon was like, can she do? Do you know they can do that? And he's like, no, I didn't know they could do that. Like he looked really nervous, like whoa.
And as soon as she took down the arm,
yeah, that was pretty much it.
You pan over and you see Captain America laying on the ground.
Oh, he's laid out.
And
you got knocked the fuck out again, didn't you?
the main chick walks around,
right,
opens the bathroom door, and as she's opening the bathroom door, the second chick does the classic Captain America thing where she stomps on the shield
from Captain
and
America
it flies up and it catches the shield.
Yep.
And she caught it in this one.
Caught it.
And girl turns around, and what's funny, and he brought this up, it was something I didn't even think of, is the shield is technically made of Wakanda material.
Technology. I was like, yo, they could have took that.
So they could have took it and been like,
hey, episode over, roll credits. Hey, Zemo gone. He took the shield. Fuck it, roll credits. We're done.
Series over.
Because I'm like, and she smiled. This is how she smiled. She's like, yeah, this is mine. And then she get.
Well, because the leader chick was even like, put it down.
Right. And then but it's so funny though. She smiled because she's like, okay, here you go. I'm like, because she's basically saying, you was a weak ass. Weak, bro.
So she puts it down.
Right.
And
because they were going to just walk out with it.
They walk out.
Yeah, they walk out. They're gone.
And then Cap is still sitting there, just dazed.
Right. Yeah.
And we see Bucky and Sam walk over to the bathroom. They're like,
Zemo's gone.
He's gone.
And that's it.
And they start to walk out. And then the last thing you see is John, in this scene, you see John sitting there. And he's like, they weren't even super soldiers.
No, they weren't. No.
Like, he realized not only did he get his ass beat by women, he got his ass beat by women that didn't have special powers. They were just extremely skilled fighters.
Extremely skilled fighters. That's all they were. So not only he got his ass kicked by Flag Smashers, he got his ass kicked. He let Baron Zemo get away. He got his ass kicked by Falcon and Winter Soldier a couple times. So he's just taking L's everywhere.
And Bucky put his arm back on.
Yeah.
Which, the really cool thing, and somebody else pointed this out, again crediting Screen Rant, who I was watching their Easter eggs you missed in the episode video. If you notice when he puts his arm back on, he does this thing where he spins his arm.
Now that's Captain America Winter Soldier. That's that little thing.
When he lost his arm in Winter Soldier.
Yep. Well, it got like all flimbless, so he went. Like it made like a noise. Like okay, so we got a little throw. See, they got little throwbacks there from the kick with the shield and that little sound effect. That's little nods. I like that they do. Good job, MCU. You keep that one.
So then it transitions. The next scene is John and Battlestar in the food court, which is kind of a pivotal scene.
Yeah.
Because there's a couple things we know going into this scene. Mm-hmm. One, we know John still has a vial of super soldier serum.
Yeah, because I don't think he didn't take it yet.
He hadn't taken it yet.
Yeah.
And two, we also know he just got his ass humbled.
Yeah.
Humbled.
Yeah, because they could have just, and just took the shield and left.
He's not won a fight since he's become Captain America. He got his ass beat on the train.
Yeah. Yeah, that's first.
Or trucks. On the trucks, not the train.
He's been taking L's really left and right, to be honest. Like, it's bad.
He couldn't get the people to talk when he was trying to investigate to find out where Carly was.
Zemo left. That's third L. So it's just...
Like, he hasn't succeeded in anything he's been trying to do.
Anything that Cap has done. You know my name? You know who I am? I don't care.
No.
You know who I am?
So, they're talking in the food court. And someone comes up and asks for Cap's autograph. They even have a little
and they still Sam has like oh, we like you, like, but then also the first Captain America where it's like, oh, you just like me because I'm the show person,
right? Yeah. But they even have a little joke where John's like, "You're just mad that they didn't ask for your autograph," and he's like, "Man, I even got a little Battlestar thing that I draw on there and everything.
I got a Battlestar little emblem on it."
Yeah. But then John looks at him. Because Battlestar tells him to cheer up. It didn't work out the way he wanted, but it's not all bad. And John,
he's just he's pissed.
And John looks at him and he's like, and he asks Battlestar, he's like, "Hey, if you had a chance to take the serum, would you?" And Battlestar was like, "Hell yeah."
Yeah.
He's like, imagine the lives we could have saved.
Because they were talking about some army
when we were in the army.
Yeah,
if we had that
saving
serum.
People. Yeah.
And John still looks kind of concerned, and Battlestar tries to explain it to him. He's like, "Look," he's like, you had to do like you make all the right decisions,
right,
when the time is needed to make them calls."
Mm-hmm.
He said, "You gained 3 Purple Hearts or 3 Medals of Honor."
And all this time, he's putting his head down, like he don't like he's heard like this speech over and over again, but he's really trying to tell him like, bro, He's like, right.
You earned 3 Medals of Honor,
right,
by doing the right thing. And Johnny even says, "Yeah, 3 Medals of Honor that remind me of the worst day of my life."
And that's when I think I started liking Doofus now. This is when I'm starting to like him now.
You're starting to see the more human side of him. Yeah, the not badass, but
right,
the vulnerable.
He said, I want to throw him in the trash. I'm like, okay. So he said, "Fuck the metal hearts, bro. I'm done. I don't care about them." I'm like, what?
And Johnny even says, he's like, those medals came from something he didn't feel that he did was right.
Right.
The government seen it as right.
Right.
They obviously honored him for it, but he didn't feel like what he was doing was right. He said, putting on the Captain America suit is the first time anything I've ever done in the military has felt right.
That always got me when he said that. Like,
And Battlestar said, and that's actually when Battlestar was like, imagine how many people we could have saved with the serum. So then we transition to the next scene, and it's Sarah, which is Sam's sister.
Right.
And she's standing out on the back of like this dock. And she gets a phone call, and it's Carly. And Carly being Carly.
Right. Hey, like,
she's like, I'm trying to figure out if I'm going to kill your brother or not.
I'm like, oh, okay. You ballsy, huh, Carly? Okay, touche.
And she's like, he's working for Cap, and Sarah even admits that them two her and Carly have more in common than what she probably knows.
He said he ain't working for
and
some
she's like,
shield or something.
She's like,
don't mean nothing.
And I can guarantee you, he does not work for that man.
Right. Like she said the same about the shield and the suit. Like, he don't work for them colors or something. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, all right. So he don't work for like the Captain America at all. So, right.
And basically, Carly told her, she's like, I'm gonna give you information. This is where Sam can find me. I want him to come alone. And she said, and if he doesn't show up, I'm gonna come visit you, and I'll see. And she lists off both her kids' names.
In the dock, she lists out the whole thing.
And she's like, and we'll meet out by that dock that you like to go to a lot.
Right, and her,
which is where she was at.
Right, where she was at, and she was just freaked out. Really, she was freaked out. Yeah, I'm like, wait, how you know where the hell I'm at, woman? What?
So then the next scene is Sam talking to Sarah on the phone as they're walking
really that
through
next
the city.
scene. Yep.
And
she said, "Calm down."
She tells him what's going on. He's like, "All right, look, you get the boys and go somewhere safe.
Use only cash, no credit.
Use
that was
only
good.
cash.
Yeah, that's all. Yeah, no use credit because they gonna find you on the credit."
And then Sam texts Carly. Carly texts her back, and she says to come alone. She says where to go. And Bucky's like, "You're not going alone."
Yeah, first of all, if you and I were teammates going alone, no, we're not doing this. No, I got your back, you got my back. We're not doing this. Talk about going come alone. What? No way.
But Bucky's like, "Yeah, that ain't happening."
No.
So they show up to talk to Carly, and Sam's like stomping up the steps.
Oh yeah,
and he's like, "Carly,
you right?" He came in like a J. Carly, what's up? Like Carly, like where you at, bitch?
he's like, you call my sister? This is how we doing it now?
This how we doing it? Because I would have fought. That probably would have beat down. I probably would have beat the shit out of her.
but Carly looks at him. She's like, I was never gonna hurt her, Sam. She's like, I honestly wanted to learn more about you.
Okay, because Sam was ready to go. He'd have suited up and everything.
Right, yeah, they came in suited up. He's ready.
Because remember, the first time they came up, he was in normal clothes. He went suited up, Falcon up. He was ready to start going. He got Red Ring ready. He's like, what you mean, Carly? We can do this, Carly, if that's what you want.
But then she was even like, obviously you didn't come alone.
No. What? The fuck? No.
But then she goes on to tell him, she's like, he's not hiding behind the shield, and it would be meaningless to kill him.
Right.
She said she honestly wants him to either join her or just to let her go.
Right. And that's when the kid got to. Yep.
That's when Sharon is looking at her little computer screen and she sees John Walker moving and she calls it in to Falcon and she's like,
it's John. And then you see Bucky. She's like, Bucky again. Bucky.
She's like, she says it's John. And Falcon goes, yo, it's John. And Bucky jumps off. Now, mid-air though.
Superhero landing.
No, he didn't.
He didn't do a super landing? I thought he did super landing.
He got tackled.
Oh, he got tackled? Shit, he did.
He was mid-air, and somehow in a split second, Carly pulled the mask over her face.
Yeah, that was quick. Yeah, that was so quick.
And she jumped off of the balcony and tackled him mid-air.
Yeah, tackled mid-air. Okay.
And I didn't think about this until I was rewatching the episode. Because remember, you and I had that conversation. I didn't know why she attacked them. And it's because, if you remember the conversation she had before, before she called Sarah, she was telling them she wants to separate them and kill Cap.
Oh, yeah.
So wherever Cap is going, she doesn't want them to make it because they're trying to kill Captain America.
Right.
I don't think she charged into attack because she wanted to do any harm to him.
Right. She just wanted to get them over here so they can think. I want to know, did Sharon may have tipped the Flag Smashers off?
I don't know.
Okay. I was wanting to know that, like, did you may have tipped them off that John would, well, I mean, I guess because he yelled it, but I thought maybe, like, she gave him notes, too. Like, oh, John, Cap is around your area. You might want to, now you can do your little plan.
Well, no, because I think they already knew.
Okay, that he was.
Like I said, they were trying to separate them.
Right, okay.
So whatever they did to lure Cap to wherever they ended up fighting Cap at, was already pre-planned. They knew he was going to be there.
But just the fact that Bucky's instincts throughout this whole episode is John. Like I got you. Like, got you, fam. Teammates forever. He jumps He sprung into action. I gotta give it, man. That's good.
So then
Bucky.
Falcon ends up jumping off the balcony, landing down, and he does this weird like spin kick in the Charlie.
Like a weird
she
spin
flies
kick.
up against the wall.
Yep.
And he's like, "I'll text you the coordinates," and he just fucking jets.
Yeah, he jets.
And
Everybody's
Bucky
jetting.
jets.
And Bucky
on foot.
Everybody's leaving. Oh shit! This is a lit episode, bro. Like,
it
bro,
is.
because he jets and he's like, you see Winter just going.
Exactly.
He's just going, bro.
So then Cap and Battlestar break into the building, guns drawn.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they ready.
They're doing the military
right
thing.
Military thing, like yeah.
And Cap stops on the stairs to look down the steps because I think he's listening for something. But you see Battlestar keep going.
Yep.
And
Battlestar kept going.
Eventually, he looks and sees that Battlestar isn't there anymore, and then you hear something hit like the ground.
Yeah, like some like a thud noise.
And I don't remember what Battlestar's name is.
Jamar?
I don't know.
Lamar?
But he yelled Lamar. I think
Lamar.
It's
He's like
Lamar Hoskins, if I remember.
Hoskins, yeah, because he didn't call him by Battlestar. See, this we know it got kind of bad because he called him like that's like calling by your real name. He's like Lamar, are you there? And
right,
Lamar didn't respond back. I said, oh, they done killed Lamar. Please be alive, bro, because he will lose his shit if you are not alive, man. He will literally lose it, bro, if you're not alive, dog.
So Cap gets upstairs and sees his gun sitting
on the
there,
ground. Yep,
which is what he heard fall.
Yep.
And they kind of go back and forth, panning between what's going on with Battlestar and what's going on with Cap.
I like how they're doing it. They're panning back to what they're doing. They're panning back to what they're doing. I like that little camera direction was going. I like that.
So Cap is moving through the building looking for Lamar.
Right.
And then while he's doing that, Battlestar is being tied up after he gets knocked out.
Yeah, I thought they were putting him in a trapped area where he can't get out.
They punched him in the face, knocked him out, tied him up. And eventually...
Because the whole point is just to kill Captain America. They probably weren't going to try to kill Lamar. That's why they got him all tied up. The whole point was to kill him. He has all of it, so they want him dead. So,
right.
But yeah.
So Cap ends up getting jumped.
Yep.
By a flag smasher. It was just one star.
Okay, I thought it was two. It was a flex. Right
and they're getting into this little fist fight, and then all of a sudden, Cap takes his shield and launches it at the flag smasher. Misses, and the shield buries into the wall and does not move. And this is the moment where you realize something's a little bit different about Cap.
Oh no! He's U.S. agent, bro.
So
Doofus is now no longer Doofus anymore.
So he walks up, he grabs the shield, yanks it out of the wall.
Yep.
But he's like looking around, make sure nobody's
right. He's like,
and the dude took off running. And then all of a sudden, you see Bucky running through the street. Yep. Sam's flying through, and Sam flies through the window.
Goes in through the window from the top to the bottom.
And we all of a sudden see there's a little more extended fight scene between Cap and Battlestar that happens here.
Right.
And Cap ends up punching him, but punches him so hard he kind of flies in the air about 15 feet.
15 feet.
And lands right in front of Sam.
Right. Yeah.
Or no, this was after...
No, because then he bends.
Yeah, so...
He said, oh, shit. He's right.
The dude swings the pipe at him. And he grabs the pipe and then bends it around his hand.
Oh, shit. And then Sam looked like, what did you do?
Well,
and he's like, what did you do?
So
he's like, whoa.
So Cap runs by and he's like, what did you do? And he's like, they got Lamar. So Sam starts running after him, which I don't know why, because at this point...
Fuck Lamar, what did you do?
Right, I'm like, hey, you got some... Lucy, you got some explaining to do.
Right. Forget wherever the hell Lamar was talking... Lamar can blow... Bro, forget Lamar. How did you bend that? Like, that's what we should have asked. Like, how did you bend that, bro? Like, how did you do that? Yeah, you got some lot of explaining to do, Lucy.
So... Falcon and Cap run off, and then they go back to showing Lamar, or I'm just going to continue calling him Battlestar.
Yeah.
They show Battlestar laying there tied up, and he reaches into his pocket, pulls out a knife. Cuts the thing off.
Because it was only Hela with zip ties. Yeah, he got him out. Yeah.
And they cut back to him here in a little bit where they actually show him stand up, and he's got everything off, and he walks off. Now, I just didn't want to talk about going back to that.
Yeah.
So then we see Bucky running up the steps. And he gets attacked by a flag smasher on the steps.
Yep, on the steps.
So then they have a little back and forth, and then Bucky eventually kicks the shit out of him.
He does kick the shit out of him.
So hard, the dude flies through a brick wall.
Oh my god, he kicks the shit out of him.
And I loved it because he flies through the brick wall, he lands, and then Bucky goes, stay there.
Stay there. I like that.
And it walks off. And then we see Captain and
Falcon,
Cap and Falcon. They get jumped by two Flag Smashers.
They get jumped by two Flag Smashers.
And as they're fighting, more Flag Smashers start to come in.
Now more of them start coming in. Yeah.
And honestly, starting off, they're handling their own pretty well.
Yeah, they were. Yeah.
You could definitely tell at this point. I mean, if you couldn't tell by the other signs before, Cap has taken this whole Super Soldier Serum. Yeah, which was one of my predictions. I was even like, it's going to happen.
He said eventually he was going to somehow find a way to get to that. And well, fuck, you got to like that. But I didn't get it from a Flag Smasher. Damn it. Yeah.
So they're in the middle of this fight and they're handling their own, and then Carly gets involved. And there's this part where Carly runs.
Doesn't Bucky punch him, right? Punch her? I thought he punched on a Flag Smash. He says, like, you're welcome.
No, they was fighting another one.
Oh, okay.
And she runs in, and she jumps over the table with her knife and runs and is getting ready to stab Cap when all of a sudden Battlestar comes in.
Right.
And tackles her. And as soon as she gets up, she turns around without thinking and just punches. And hits him right in his chest, and he flies across the room into a pillar.
You can hear that.
And he hits that pillar
like Gwen Stacy,
so
like a crack egg.
Well, he hits that pillar so hard, it shifts its position. It doesn't fall, it doesn't break, it moves.
Oh dear! It literally reminds me of like Gwen Stacy getting her head clacked at the end of the movie, and I said, "Oh my God, he's dead."
Like, yeah, I knew he was dead the moment he hit.
Oh dear! And I was like, Jesus Christ.
And I did not see this coming. I didn't think they were going to kill Battlestar off.
I didn't think they were going to kill him off. I really didn't think
but I definitely think it pushes the story. I'm glad they did because of what happens next, and we'll get into that here in just a second. Well, because
one of your theories, you said they were going to capture Cap, but instead it's reversed. They captured Battlestar.
Right.
And, Jesus, bro. That's wilding. He was like Battlestar. I'm like, bro, he gone, bro.
Right.
He cracked his body.
So he's laying there, and Cap starts to walk over to him.
Right.
And Carly and everyone stops what they're doing. The fight stops completely.
Yeah.
And everyone looks as Cap's approaching Battlestar. And Carly takes off her mask, and she actually has a "oh fuck, what did I do" look on her face.
Right.
But it goes from that to I'd do it again.
Yeah.
That's that. Like, it went from shocked to
yeah,
he deserved it, and just the look in her face.
Right. Yeah. And then they just ran off.
And I think Sam and Bucky knew some shit was about to go down now.
They just fucking knew, Lord.
The Flag Smashers scatter.
Yeah, I think she said scatter. Like, go, we gotta go. Like it was like, yo, they left. Yeah.
So they all run.
Right. Started running. Right.
And Bucky and Falcon actually chase after.
Yeah, they just said, well, I mean, what can you do on this? So they just started chasing after them.
So they chase after them.
Oh dear!
And Cap walks over and he's like shaking. He's like, come on, man, come on, Lamar, get up.
Yeah, he didn't call my name, Lamar. Wake up!
And like he's doing the whole test to see if you can feel the heartbeat.
And then he said, no.
And he stops and he sits there for a second, and you can see he's starting to breathe heavier, and he kind of has this look on his face that's like, you could tell, dude, that he was losing his shit.
Yeah. I think that was the only thing that keeping him from not losing. It's like Naruto, Nine-Tailed Fox. Like, that was the only thing keeping him from not losing his shit. And now that is gone, yeah, he's gone now, bro.
Well, it's not Battlestar was keeping him from losing his shit.
No, it's
Battlestar kept him grounded.
Grounded. Right, my bad. Grounded, sorry, yeah.
Anytime Cap had this idea of doing something outside of the books, Battlestar was like, nah, bring it back.
Bring it back. Come back to me. Come on. But now, now it's like the chains are off. It's like, bro, he's about to go.
And this is the moment where I start liking John as a character.
As a character, here we fucking go.
Okay, I am rooting against him. Do not get me wrong.
I'm rooting against him. But this shit
for the
crazy.
First time ever, I don't see him as Doofus America.
Nope, he's actually. He's U.S. agent Captain America. He's Captain America for real.
He looks up and he just has this empty look in his eyes.
Yeah, it was dead. It was so gone. Like, he don't care if he dies. He don't even care anymore. He's ready.
He gets up and he
didn't even take the stairs.
He jumps out the window.
That was a Captain America moment. Went right through the door.
He jumps out the window. Does the superhero landing on top of the vehicle.
Oh my God.
If you needed any more proof, he has powers now.
He has powers. He didn't even scream. He just ran. Oh my God. I can just watch that scene all day. Him doing that superhero landing. Oh my God. He just loses it, bro.
Right. But yeah, so he starts chasing down the dude that has been with Carly
of this episode.
from the beginning of the series. Really, he's been kind of by her side.
Oh shit! Yeah.
I still don't know his name.
Nope.
Cause
yeah.
But Cap's chasing him down, and he's using his sword. He's hitting him with the shield, but he's throwing it
a couple times,
bouncing it off of him until finally the dude lands in the square.
He went pew, pew.
And Cap walks up and is standing over him. He's like, "Where is she?"
He did a Batman moment. Where is she? Swear to me. Swear to
and
me,
he's like, it wasn't me.
I don't give a fuck. That was not the answer.
Not the right answer.
That was not the right answer. Oh
now, there's a couple interesting things that happen here. So, Cap lifts the shield and just starts smashing it into the dude.
And you can just see the camera. The cameras was like him, you, him, you, him, you. It was like a fast pace. I'm like, oh my god.
And as this is all going down, there's a crowd gathering around them.
Yeah, there's a crowd. And they're just.
And they're all getting out their phones.
Yeah, I would. Bro, I would definitely get out my phone. Like
recording Cap doing this.
He's just
boom. He's just going to town.
I thought he took his head off.
So there's two things that happen here that are super interesting. First off is the way he kills the dude. Steve Rogers was in a very similar situation in Civil War.
Yep.
Yeah,
Civil War when he got
Civil
Tony
War.
Stark pinned down, and he could have kept going, but he had just a reactor.
Him and Iron Man are going at it. Bucky's kind of laid out in that
right,
scene.
because he already blasted his arm out. Right.
And there's a part where Steve lifts up the shield, and he slams it down
just on the reactor
in the same way. But he does it to break the reactor not to kill him.
Not to kill him.
And he rips the shield out, throws it down to the side, and just stares at him. But that's where he stopped. He didn't try to kill Tony Stark. He just wanted to stop
the fight. Wow.
But this new guy, John...
he is at the kill, bro.
He was there for blood, literally.
Jesus Christ.
And the second thing that I thought was super fucked up... Yes, this guy dies, guys.
Oh, yeah. I thought he decapitated him with that shield.
And the most fucked up part about it, if you think about it, this is the same guy who earlier this exact same episode said Cap was one of his idols. And he got killed by somebody else pretending to be his idol.
Oh, that's got to be a...
And I didn't think about that till last night either.
Now I am thinking, damn, man.
Wow.
And it's fucked up because Carly saw it too. It hurt.
Well,
expression.
okay.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, brother. I'm like, everything was fucked up about this whole thing. This ending was so fucked up.
The crowd's forming around him. Guy says it wasn't him. Cap beats the dude to death. And then Cap backs up and kind of stares at him. And he kind of almost has this blank look in his eyes again where he's kind of like, he realizes what he just did was extremely fucked up.
But don't care.
But he doesn't really care.
In fact, anybody else want to come and try to stop this, he'll give you that shield too.
Bucky and Sam show up and see the aftermath.
Yep,
they didn't see the actual action. They ran in.
Yeah, they came in like seconds after
it was done.
Happened. Yep.
And they just see him standing there over.
They're like, whoa.
And they kind of have this look of like,
dude, not cool. Not cool, bro. Not cool.
And then they show Carly in the crowd.
But I think she saw the whole thing.
She looked terrified.
It's funny though. You look at episode 1, Doofus, and he's waving. You look at episode 4, Doofus, and he's like, "I wish one of y'all would test me. I'm about to kill everybody. Everybody getting it today."
And then Cap puts the shield back on his arm and does it forcefully. Kind of shakes his arm a little bit and then stands there and starts to pan through the crowd.
Yeah, he's trying to look for her.
And I don't think it's so much that he's looking for anyone, because I thought that same thing too the first time I watched it.
Yeah.
I think he's looking and seeing all the people watching him, because you got to remember, he is a public representation of America.
Right. So now he's basically saying, America, well, we've been bull. Yeah.
And what he just did definitely made America look bad, and he sees all these people watching him. All of them have their cell phones out. And they pan the camera back, which is when you see Cap standing there with the shield, and it's half full of blood. And then the screen fades to black. And I'm telling you now, it's the first time this entire series where we were mad at how it ended just because it was that big of a cliffhanger.
That's the only thing that pissed me off right there. I want to know what else happened.
Right.
Yeah, I want to know what else, because is he going to jail? I guess not. I guess he ain't going to jail.
To top it off, again, everyone there got it on video. Yeah, there's no way he can deny it wasn't him.
They got the whole bam.
And then which I didn't notice this till today. I actually finished this outline today. I was decided to go ahead and watch through the credits again, and they've actually changed a lot of the images in the credits themselves.
Yes, they did.
And it started including new things.
Mm-hmm.
And a couple I wanted to point out. There's at one point where we see the image of the Captain America shield painted on a wall, but a section of the wall is missing to show like a hole in the shield, which I thought was pretty interesting because it's almost a visual representation of the icon itself is now damaged.
Yep. It's almost like it's Yeah, this is
And then another image that they show that was new is they show John.
Yep.
But it's literally cut off at the head, cut off at the waist, and it's just his body.
His body, that's been ripped off.
There's a big hole in the wall that was broken, but underneath it, painted underneath where it was at, is a picture of the Captain America shield.
Right.
But to look like a bomb with a wick.
Yep.
Which is almost showing like he's a fuse just waiting to blow.
Right, he was fused waiting to blow. It's funny how you can see these images now. And you see him like, wow, that's like what's happening right now. Like, oh shit.
And then some interesting things I also seen.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually able to catch a little bit of what was being said before they got replaced by the names of the people in the episode.
Right.
Because you know how they show like redacted statements or certain things, and then they shift and it shows the whoever co-producer, actors, whatever.
Who directed all the
And a lot of them, the ones that were in English, because there was one in Wakandan. Which obviously I can't read that. I'm not one of those geeks that I love you geeks because you guys let us know things that
right. No thing we don't know. Like hello.
I don't know enough about the language itself to be able to decipher something in the credit sequence. A couple of them I think were in French. One was in German. A few of them were German. And the ones that were in English were kind of news headlines. That were talking about. Bombing at the embassy or something like that,
right?
Or at Supply Depot, basically kind of going over some of the, and I would almost guess the foreign language ones are also news headlines, just in their language for other newspapers.
Right, like absurd situations that has happened. Yeah.
And then the one that was most interesting to me, there's this part, and I don't know what it stands for. If somebody does, please let us know.
Please, I would like to know.
But it says December 16th, 1991, 7 p.m., Cam 3.
Right. Was that when Bucky killed Iron Man's parents?
See, I don't know.
I think that might have been when Bucky killed Iron Man's parents. I may have to rewatch the first beginning of Captain America: Civil War. I think that is that.
It might be.
It might be that Cam 3. And that might, you know what? I could see that coming up in the episode, I guess, but yeah, because that's something I'm thinking, like, because it was on a cam when he did it, so that's something I could think of. But yeah,
But yeah, I absolutely love this episode.
Yeah, this was 10 out of 10. Holy shit, this is crazy.
So he's trying to already jump in the reviews. We do predictions first.
Oh, I forgot. Sorry, this episode was lit. This was lit.
I have a few ideas. Again, I do think Zemo's original plan was to kill Winter Soldier after all this was done.
Right.
Because I think that would be the last person that had anything that he knew of that
had the super serum.
Anything with the super serum. So I do think that was his original plan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think personally Zemo is going to show up much more.
Okay, I was gonna say at least one more time. I was thinking at least one more.
Because again, I'm still holding true to my idea that Zemo's gonna go back to Madripoor. Yeah. I do think he's going to go back to Madripoor, and he cannot be excommunicated out of it. Like, he cannot be extradited. He cannot be extradited from Madripoor. Like,
because if
no
he
matter
knows
what,
people, like, you know, like said, the children.
No, even if America was to go to Madripoor and be like, hey, we want you to send them over, they'll be like, no.
You can't get them.
So, I don't think we're going to see him much. If anything, we'll see him a little bit in the last episode.
And that's pretty much it.
Towards the end. I think this next episode is actually going to start off with John and Battlestar in the war.
Yeah, you're going to have a flashback of him in the war, then it's going to, like, flash back to him probably burying Battlestar, or watching Battlestar being taken, like, oh, you don't think so? Okay.
That's not a flashback.
No, I'm not saying it's going to flashback in the war, but then it's going to jump back to the present day.
I think they're going to flash back to the war, and I think it's going to be about a 10 to 15 minute
you gotta at least get
little thing.
Yeah.
To show what it is that they had to go through, to show the ties that these two men had together and why they cared about each other so much.
Right.
And then I think it's going to pan over
to the present,
to somebody watching phone footage of him doing what he's doing. And it's going to be probably Sam and Bucky.
Right.
Or maybe Sam might be with Sarah at this point or something.
Right.
And I feel like what's going to happen in this episode is Cap's going to get called back to America because the government's going to want to talk to him.
Because they're obviously not going to arrest him.
Because,
they're obviously not going to.
I think they will at first.
Okay. They will.
But I think he's going to barely get with a slap on the wrist.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Because technically the Flag Smashers are considered terrorists.
So basically...
So he killed a terrorist threat.
He was like, I can take your shield for this, but you did a good job. I'm like, he just, what? Okay, sure. He gonna do it again. Like, all right, bet.
But it's definitely going to be a bad look.
Yeah, it's going to have a I'm not going to say it's not going to be a backlash. There's going to be a backlash, but he's going to get off scot-free, though, unfortunately. I mean, he's going to get...
And, again, I no longer think Zemo's involved with the power broker themselves, because if he was, he would have kept the vial for himself.
Right.
However, I do think Sharon is either the power broker or she's in leagues with the power broker. And they said that we're supposed to be getting a huge cameo this next episode.
Right.
And
what if the power broker's a Marvel character that we don't know?
Judged off of, it'll be somebody. I think it'll be somebody we do know.
Okay. You think it's somebody we do know?
I still think it's Sharon.
Okay.
But the big Marvel character... So here's the thing. I either think the big Marvel character that's supposed to show up is either going to be somebody we don't know.
Right.
And we haven't seen.
Right. Ever.
In
the MCU.
Or I think it's going to be War Machine.
Okay.
And I say that because I could see War Machine being there to collect Captain America and being like, you got to come with me.
Yeah, okay, so he'll be suited up too. Like
he might even be in the Iron Patriot armor.
And not the War Machine. He'd be in the Iron Patriot armor, which that'd be a good little... We haven't seen that in a minute. Yeah, okay.
But... Oh, man, there's so much. There's a leak that pisses me off. So, for those of you that don't know, it was leaked. There was a toy, and this is reaching into probable spoiler territory for all of us.
Right.
There was a toy that was leaked that shows, from this show, that was Falcon in his Captain America outfit. So, I feel like we are going to get... He's finally going to accept being Captain America at some point.
Well, because then you say we gotta take the shield back from John, or take the shield back from, I guess, whatever the government. So at some point, that it may happen.
I feel like this episode, we're going to get the fight between John, Cap, and Winter Soldier.
Yeah, that fight's gonna happen.
And I think this fight is going to end John's time with the shield.
Yeah.
If the government doesn't take it from him. In the comics, the government took it from him.
Okay.
Super Soldier Serum or not, they were like, no. And he didn't fight that. Because again, he doesn't feel like he's a villain. He's still,
he felt he did something right here.
He's still for the American people as a whole. Just not for this terrorist group that...
Right. Does U.S. Agent have another shield, though? I thought he had, like...
If he does, it's not...
It's not gonna be as strong as Cap, of course.
It's not Cap's shield.
Right.
So, I think I think this next episode we're gonna see the end of this arc with John.
Dang, and it's just getting good.
And I think the last episode is going to be heavily focused on the three-way-ish fight between the power broker, Carly, and Sam and Bucky.
Yeah. It should be like that. It's Barry Zemo, them should be just out.
Either that or it's going to be flip-flopped. This next episode would be the Carly power broker part, and then
What if
the last
Carly's-
episode
what
could
if
be
Carly's
the
the power
end
broker?
of John.
Wouldn't that be funny?
That would never happen.
Yeah, no. But,
She wouldn't be fighting her own self.
right. She's that crazy. But
Now
yeah.
a fun theory, which a friend of mine, or a friend of ours that we work with, told us. He said he had been doing some research, and there are some people that think the power broker might be General Ross.
Yep, Thunderbolt Ross.
Which, for those of you who don't know who that is the general who was constantly going after the Incredible Hulk.
Right. And the one that issued the Soviet Accords in Captain America: Civil War. Also,
He's also the one
he's
that
in Black
issued the
Widow.
Sokovia Accords.
Yep.
So there is this chance that we're thinking he could be involved as a power broker.
Mm-hmm.
Which would be an interesting little take on things. Because obviously he would want the super soldier serum, because that's honestly, he wanted Hulk to try and figure out how to make people strong.
Incredible Hulk, that was like a failed super soldier serum.
Right.
Yeah. That was the failed
Yes
one.
and no. It was more than just that. It was a lot of weird shit.
Yeah, okay.
But, and again, this is doing predictions and this isn't even predictions, just ideas that could happen. That could, so we also know She-Hulk is going to be a courtroom drama.
Right.
And I was even telling you guys over the last couple of nights, like, what if, like, it being the courtroom drama that it is, what if the cases, the main case that they're going with is either Carly or John on trial over this whole super soldier serum thing, and that's why Thunderbird Ross would be involved, because they already said Mark Ruffalo is also going to be in the She-Hulk series, so Hulk's going to be there, or Banner at the very least.
Right.
We also know the guy, at least, that plays Abomination. I don't know if he's going to show up as Abomination, but the guy that played Abomination in Hulk,
right,
the Incredible Hulk, is also going to be in the
And
She-Hulk
the chick from
series.
Hamlet, like, she's going to be in there too.
Another interesting thing, another theory somebody else brought up. What if the power broker is the leader?
That would make things interesting. That means we're really going right into She-Hulk armor. We're going right into the She-Hulk armor. We're just like right into it. If the power broker is the leader, but what if he before he becomes the leader? Like, what if
That's the problem though. If they're going based off of things, he's already the leader.
Oh, so he's already with the green skin and everything.
Because if you remember in Hulk, he had that part where the blood was dripping to the top of his
so
head.
you're saying what if it was already the guy? Man, that would be.
Because that's the villain he was supposed to become, was the leader.
Yeah, it was the leader. Wow, that would be what 20 years since we last seen that dude. Oh shit, that'd be.
I'm just saying.
That'd be interesting. Yeah, there's a lot going on with that, because it seems like it's gotta be somebody military. It has to be somebody military, man. Like, there's no way. Like, it has to be somebody like that knows about the super soldier serum. And what if it's Nick? No, it would be funny if it wasn't Nick.
Wouldn't be Fury.
It would be Fury. Because he has a little bit of super soldier and a little bit. Well, in the comics, he had a little bit, not a whole lot though. But it's interesting to see like who could play what here, because it's got to be somebody that knows how powerful this stuff is, man. Like, Jesus. So yeah, this episode was interesting.
It was an amazing episode.
This was interesting.
Dude.
Holy shit! I could probably watch it again.
I've watched it twice.
I've watched it at least twice. Oh shit, that's crazy. And I wish John could stay. It's like, damn, now I wanted to stay like this. The Captain America. I want to see him just like. I wish somebody would say, "Do you know who I am?" He will punch you through a brick wall. Do you understand? Like, literally, do you understand how up your life will be right now? Like,
Right.
You're that way. You're going that way.
So I guess this comes to the part of our show where we give our ratings. Go ahead.
No, 10. That's a 10.
Give it a solid 10 out of 10.
Solid 10. Solid 10.
I'm gonna give it a 9 points. No, I'm giving it a 10. Like I said, I gave last week's episode, I think, a 10 as well.
Man.
So I think this was like a 12.
It's like a 12.
Like, dude, this series, like, again, I fully believe every episode has been better than the last.
Yeah.
And
It's like it's just growing. It's just growing, man.
I don't remember who I was talking to about this last night, but it's like, I loved WandaVision. I understand people's complaints with it, but I loved it for what it was.
Right.
I thought they did an excellent job. And I kind of felt that was the tone that most of these shows were going to go with in terms of overall feel. And I actually thought Falcon and Winter Soldier was going to be the weakest show out of all of them.
Makes you, yeah.
Because I thought WandaVision was going to be outstanding, which I did feel it was outstanding.
Right, it set the bar for what it was worth.
And then I thought What If was going to be a fun little romp in whatever mystery world that they're doing.
That's canon, even though it's not with it, but it is canon with MCU. Yep.
And then Loki that comes out this year.
Yep.
I thought Loki. I going into all of this, it still could happen. I thought Loki was going to be the best show.
Right.
Because in terms of people that have done so, like, Loki's a villain that everyone loves.
Right.
Because Tom Hiddleston does such a fantastic job in that role.
Yeah, that's...
And that's not to take away from anybody else in any of these other shows, but, like,
Loki, he runs with it, man.
He has done so well. So I thought, like, Loki was going to be the powerhouse series of the year.
Right.
For Disney+. But then, like, this happened. And, like, the first episode was good, and I was like, all right, it's a good start. There's some things I wish they would have done.
Right.
And then they fixed those things in the second episode for me, and then started to expand on that. And I still think we're going to get that Sam backstory here soon, too.
I hope so, too, because, like, damn, it is 2 more episodes.
Right.
It's like, damn, we only got 2 more episodes left, bro.
And then...
I hope so, too.
And then... The third episode comes in, and things start to escalate a little more. With the whole breaking Zemo out of jail, and
hypotheticals. We're going to put that in there.
Hypotheticals.
Let's do a hypothetical. Why are you saying that, bro?
And then now this episode came out, and everything's collapsing.
This is like a turning point of a turning point of another turning point. Like, Jesus, man.
I guess at this point, I am super worried on where this show can go.
I'm scared.
Because I feel like this episode specifically feels like a second to last episode of a season. Like, it feels like there should only be one more, but there's at least 2. So that means there's so much more that they're going to show. And I have faith in them. I am kind of worried that these last 2 episodes aren't going to live up to this specific episode.
What if John dies? What if
I'd be cool with that too.
I mean, like that's the only thing I think I got. Like
I really like his character development, and
it's starting to get good though. But I'm like, I mean, what if he dies at the end of this whole series?
And I told everyone this too. While it was wrong, I can't say I wouldn't have done the same thing he did.
Right.
If I'm sitting there, and I'm trying to stop these people who are pretty much known terrorists.
And they just killed your dude
trying
right
to stop them, and they killed my best friend.
Who been with me, army, all that, beret and everything, right.
There's a good chance I would lose my shit and try and kill every single one of them. Yeah. And that's just me being honest. But, again, it's not a good look. Not for the symbol.
Yeah. It makes me like, I wish you just didn't do it with the symbol, but that's the whole point of this whole show, of this series. He did it with Captain America. He did it. he did it with the symbol.
And I didn't think about this until her and I were talking last night. The dude was killed by his idol.
That's
and again, it was one of those things that didn't make that correlation until I started going through and rewatching the episode.
Doing, like, scene by scene by scene, you start seeing it, man.
I watched that scene where he was talking about Cap, and I'm like, this is the same dude. No.
Yep, same dude that said, "Yo, Captain America was my idol. He was my best hero I could think of." And then you just see him plead for his life. It wasn't me. And then you just, they did it, what, 3 times? Bang,
and
bang,
you
bang.
know he has the super soldier serum.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure dude was dead after 1 hit.
After 1 hit to the chest, he was done. I thought he was done. He really may have broke his back because he swung at him twice, and then like the second time, he stumbled or he went to the ground. He can't even probably walk the rest of his life. He probably done. He probably fractured everything from bottom down. He can't even get up.
It was a wild episode.
As I said, I could see John dying, because John like said, "Damn, bro."
John done made some people mad.
Yeah, that made some people mad. They gonna let him go. Unfortunately, they gonna let his ass go. Like, dude, this can get you court-martialed. And he's like, I don't care. They killed my friend. I'm coming after them with the rain of fire. And if I die, so be it. So he got that look, like I said, like blank look. But I think he got to look like he don't even care if he dies. So I think I can see him now dying by the end of this episode. By the end of this whole series, I can see him dying by the end of this series. So I would like to keep him around. I would love to. But it is what it is.
True. You got anything else to add?
This was good.
All right, so this episode is a little bit longer than the last one. This one's 2 hours.
Woo!
The last one was an hour and a half.
2 hours.
I kind of knew this one was going to go long.
It's something we like.
So much happened. I think after we finish this series, I'm going to change up how we do things. Like, don't get me wrong, I like the episode breakdowns. I just don't feel like people really care for the episode breakdowns. I feel like it does kind of drag it on too long.
Okay.
We're going to finish it out for this series, though. This
Right.
specific Falcon and Winter Soldier series. And then I think we're just going to kind of go with a bullet point and talk about things we liked about in the episode, things we didn't, and still go with predictions and things like that. I think we can still have good conversation without going scene by scene. Unless we get a bunch of people that are like, no, we love this. Keep running with it.
Right.
But nah, so, guys, thank you guys all for stopping in. If you're watching on YouTube, be sure to like, share, and subscribe. If you're watching anywhere else, if y'all could, please share.
Tell everybody about us. We're here. We're everywhere.
Yeah, we're even on iTunes now.
We're on iTunes. Yeah, he told me that shit. I said, yeah,
or Apple Podcasts, technically.
Apple Podcasts. We're there, man.
So yeah, we're in pretty much all the places at this point. There might only be 1 or 2 left that we aren't a part of. But I mean, you guys could find the link tree on my Twitter. I post it at least once a week. It'll take you to all the places, like I said. Or you could click, if you're on YouTube, it's all in the link in the description below. Like,
yeah, you can find all our stuff.
All our links are there.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's going to do it. So we love y'all. Thank y'all for watching.
Have a good day, guys.
And we will see y'all next week. Excelsior!
Yeah, Excelsior.
Not Alka-Seltzer. Excelsior.
Excelsior.
I'm just messing with you,
Oh,
dude.
God. Wait, what?